Welcome to the Honest Hour. I'm your host, Luisa Acevedo, and we got a couple things to talk about today, and then we'll jump on to the topics as we always do, which are on TikTok. For those that are listening to this on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and then in the future on podcast audio form, the topics for today on TikTok are why patriarchy, be a man, start a family, don't be vulnerable, be courageous. Those are the three topics we'll be talking about today on TikTok. But before we get into that, there are some news pieces that I want to get into, as well as something that I had just learned before I hopped on the stream here, and I want to share it with you guys. But to start off with, to begin this, I want to touch on what's going on with BRICS. So for those of you who are unaware of what BRICS is an alliance between Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. And now Iran and Argentina have applied to join BRICS as well, which is a financial agreement. This is an international forum between these nations. And now we have more applicants for BRICS. And this is huge news. This just goes to show Russia and China are winning the game, and the United States and the Western powers are going down. And this is because Saudi Arabia has applied to join in BRICS. Russia, huge exporter of oil. Saudi Arabia, huge exporter of oil. What happens when the OPEC nations follow suit and join BRICS and leave their deals with the Western world? This is going to be very troubling for the Western powers and the petrodollar, but it's going to take some time to unfold. And now Turkey and Egypt are the other two countries that are applying to join. And this is significant for Turkey because Turkey is waiting acceptance, it looks like, into NATO, or the EU rather. The EU, it's waiting acceptance for the EU. It's a member of NATO. So what happens then if Turkey is accepted into BRICS? Well, Turkey then probably leaves NATO, joins BRICS, and then the EU would accept an application that they've had sitting there for 23 years for Turkey. And they will try to do this to convince the Turkish to remain with the globalist left. But it looks like the East is winning, and people are realizing that that Russia and China are the future. The United States and the West are falling because of liberalism. We like to blame it on Marxism or fascism. While there is elements of those alive, they are somewhat relics of the past to this new ideology which has taken hold called liberalism, which is the threat for today. So the eastern half of the world realizes this, and they will thrive and probably supplant the United States and the Western powers. Now, the other thing that I want to bring up is going to be kind of a big deal as well. Hasn't got much attention. However, it was just released about 3 hours ago. So the House lays out demands for Pentagon over Russia, extremists, and inflation. So this just passed the House. The House lawmakers on Thursday approved $840 billion plan to direct Pentagon policies on spending in the year ahead, leading strong bipartisan support. And so basically what this is in favor of is financing competition between the United States and China, so that way we can beat China. That's the ultimate goal. And then you also have the fact that we're going to be addressing it says in here, yes. But this is just approved through the House. It still has to go through the Senate, and Joe Biden ultimately has to sign it. And then we also have an improved scrutiny of the military aid supplied to Ukraine, and a targeted rise in domestic extremism. So the vote was 329 to 101. The legislature considered one of the few must-pass bills Congress authors each year is yet to be reconciled with Senate's version. The text of the document has not been made public and is expected to reshape how much money will be directed toward the Defense Department. But what we're basically going to be seeing here is advancements in military power and domestic extremism, which is something we've been touching on for quite some time now. And this is a huge deal. It will continuously be a huge deal, especially as the Congress talks about making Russia a state sponsor, a terrorist-sponsored state. And so you're going to see this elevated talk of domestic extremism in the United States, and we already see this build up with the January 6th. So those are the two big pieces that I really wanted to talk about today to keep your eyes on as things unfold. But Russia winning the war when it comes to oil and on the ground. Russia and China will beat the United States. It is what it is. And then get ready for some heavy hands on domestic extremism in the future and more military spending to compete against China. And we're also, what are we going to do if the United States tries to fight two wars at once on the Chinese and the Russians? Well, we're going to lose. We're having trouble recruiting people already. We're seeing this all the time. This is Fire Analysis. Good stuff, man. Thank you. Thank you, Waterman Jr. So we already know that there's a shortage of people going into the military. This has been talked about for quite some time. And so it won't surprise me if we're going to fight two wars on two different fronts that we implement a draft. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Now we'll see how many, it'll probably be the new wave of draft dodgers that come out because of it. But we already have this intense rhetoric in the Southeast China Sea, with the United States stating if China tries to do anything to the Philippines, we'll have to react militarily. And we already know that Taiwan is, quote unquote, the sort of new China that the West has been fostering for some time, right? Because the West had went over to China, the Shanghai region. We can't really lose. We have very diverse and inclusive, right, exactly. But then you have the West that tried to take over part of China already, the Shanghai area. There's an interesting book on it. There's a couple interesting books. One that I'm reading right now, it's called The China Mirage. And then there's another one that is called The Last Kings of Shanghai, I believe. And it talks about the Sison family. Very good, informative books. But the Shanghai area, from what I recall, is a coastal region, and the Westerners had basically colonized it and were trying to take over China. They called this New China and the rest of China Old China. And since that plan failed, right, they now have Taiwan as the New China, which is why the West supports it. This is, a little known fact. Mao even tried to go to the United States government for assistance. The United States government was like, hell nah, get away. And then the Soviet Union, Papa Stalin was like, come here, Mao, I'll teach you my ways. And then you got all this that was going on. So anyway, Taiwan is what the West calls the New China. And so they are attempting to retain its democracy and allegiance with the West. But the issue here is it's going to be a losing battle. Not only do we not have enough people, but it's just way out of our element. About the U.S. military, the future books will be The Last Queens of America. Yeah, that's a good one, Toxic and Masculine. That's a really good one, The Last Queens. Instead of we was kings, we're going to have people saying we was queens in a very deep voice. Did you study IR or do you just read? I just read. I mean, I studied political science a little bit in college, but I focused on history. I'm a big reader. I read a lot. I read hours a day. So, I just read and I think about these things, and then I listen to other smart people talk about these things and hear their opinions on it. And then, if I feel that I agree with their opinions a lot, I might just, repackage the way that they said it. But I try to bring, unique perspectives to these things. One person that I would recommend, especially in regards to international, relationships, is Vox Day. Very informative. His blog is voxday.net. Extremely, extremely intelligent individual. For European politics, the Duran on YouTube, really good. For alternative economics, you got Why Start a Family? Yeah, we'll get into that in a second. But I mean, just a short answer, you can't have a nation without a family. It's very simple. How do you spell his name? Vox Day, it's V, so Victor, Oscar, X-ray, and then day, like today, right? So D-A-Y. Please do tell when deflation turns out to be inflation in disguise. Dude, it's deflation. So we had today in the community, in one of the communities I'm involved in, called the Bears. It originated as an online community, and now it's a global or a realm-wide community in real life. And we were talking on Instagram. There were some posts made, and people who are going to local farmers and farmers markets, the prices aren't going up at all. The only places where prices are going up for food is in big grocery stores. But if you're going to your, which I can verify, once again, you guys know who listen to this, I go to a local farmer, I help out a local farmer, and the Bears sound, I guess you can say that, but it's not. It's very much the opposite of that. But I can get your drift because they hijack that name. But Bears are strong. Russia is known as the Big Bear, and that shit ain't allowed in Russia. So, anyway, we're reclaiming the name. Anyway, so at the farm I go to, where I get a lot of our food, prices haven't gone up one bit. Not one bit. And this is true for other farmers markets and places like that. My roommate had a sculpture of Putin riding a bear. That's awesome, Water, man. It's awesome. Yeah, Putin's he seems to be like a pretty cool leader. But I'm not, idolizing Putin. He's a man. He has some issues. We smashed it because it was possessed. Whoa, sounds like some crazy story behind that. But yeah, we are going through deflation. Bears can run up to 35 miles an hour. Exactly. You get it. And bears are like all over the world. We're even on Antarctica. The world has a treaty to where you can't privately roam Antarctica. But guess who can? The motherfucking bears. We can. Well, not we, but the polar bears. You get it, Our spirit animals, the polar bears. Anyway, isn't it kind of odd? I've seen people thinking bears are clumsy and slow. Yeah, they're not, though. Anyway. Yeah, so that's some pretty important stuff that's going on with the world. There are some other things that I really can't get into on here because it's just censorship's too much. But I just saw a video of a bear opening a car door. Yeah, they're very agile. They're very smart. But there's some other stuff, if you're interested in like poisons, I guess, and how they're turning out for the people who got inoculated, if you catch my drift. Box Day's blog is a really good resource. Has an interesting article he put up there today about that. So that's something worth checking out. But yeah, I mean, the United States is just failing. Yeah, Bears derived their name from a football team in Chicago, or maybe not. I don't know. Oh man. But yeah, and so this is the other thing that I wanted to talk about. It's not news related, but there's this YouTuber. He's an Orthodox Christian. He makes icons. And I was listening to this video that he did about the Book of Enoch and how it relates to our world today. And one thing in particular that I wanted to share with you guys was the beginning of the video regarding the fall. So he talked about the fall of man. So everybody knows the story of Adam and Eve, right? Eve, Adam couldn't keep her in check. So Eve went and listened to the serpent, the devil, ate from the tree of knowledge, and then they fell. And then everybody knows that they got a garment of skin. Well, in the Orthodox, a lot of the views around that have to do with the garment being like a layer of protection against sin in the world and death in the world. Well, Why do you suppose the government and many other governments would be saying we have inflation if we don't? Why did all the governments... Come on, Mick. You should get this, dude. They lie all the time. Every time the mainstream media says something, invert it. You got the truth, or you got something closer to the truth. The Fed wants inflation. They've been craving inflation. Check out Educated Economist. He has a very informative video on this. And what happened during the whole cough and sniffle debacle was perfect, because then you get panic buying. You get panic buying, which then causes shortages, which then gives the illusion of what? Inflation. And then you get these lockdowns. And these lockdowns do what? Lock up supply chains. So does what once again? It creates demand for supplies that aren't there. And so this is very simple to understand. So if there's lockdowns, the supply chain is crippled and you can't get the things that are in demand, what happens? Price goes up. This is called demand pull inflation. It has nothing really to do with money printing, but it has everything to do with the thing that's in supply, that's being supplied is in short demand. And if it's in high demand. And so if it's in high demand and it's short supply, what happens? Prices go up. And so it's artificial. The Fed does want inflation because they've been facing deflation. This is what happens during depressionary times, guys. We are living in a depression era. The dollar, guys, let me ask you this. In inflationary periods, what happens? Gold gets stronger, silver gets stronger, the dollar gets weaker. Why is it the dollar stronger than it has been since the 80s? There hasn't been a higher time, or the dollar hasn't been valued higher since the 80s, and we've had more money printing, way more money printing. Why is it that gold isn't doing anything? Why is it that silver's dropping? It's dropped like $8 from its all-time high. Rising interest rates, which is the price of money, will not bring more inflation. They wanted inflation and they couldn't get inflation, and so they created artificial inflation, which is what you guys are talking about right now. The artificial inflation comes from supply chains lockdowns. It's down 20% of the year. The US dollar is stronger than the euro, and this is the first time that it's ever happened in 20 years. Who cares about gold and silver when we're on fiat? You care about gold and silver if you're hedging against inflation. During an inflationary period, you would want to preserve your wealth in gold and silver. Right now, gold and silver aren't safe havens because we're in deflation. We're in deflation. The dollar's getting stronger. The whole world is struggling economically, and the dollar is a reserve currency, so it would naturally be the leaders of the pack, aka the strongest. Yes, it is the strongest. People want their dollars. People want their dollars. Corporate bonds, they want to collect on those dollars, baby. But the dollar index is higher than it has been since the 80s. And we've had more money printing. It doesn't mean that we won't be facing real inflation, guys. It just means what we're facing right now and what's going to cause the collapse of the economy is deflation. So the best asset to have in inflation, I'm not a financial advisor, is the dollar. And no debt. The guy just said it's 20% down. No, he's wrong. I mean, maybe he's not. I haven't looked at it. Let me look up the US dollar index right now. Give me a second here. Why did I look up usury? What are you talking about? It's at 108.74, 0.47 rather. This is the same as it was yesterday when I looked at it. It's 108. Yeah, it's the same as it was yesterday. What are you talking about? 20% down. You go back, so I'm on Market Watch looking at the US dollar index. You go back 10 years and you'll see that the dollar is stronger than it was 10 years ago. The dollar is stronger than it was 12 years ago. It's stronger than it was 20 years ago. Usury maybe for right. right. I know I've been thinking about the big nose small hats too much. They've been on my mind. They've been living in my mind rent free. Just thinking about, the Federal Reserve. Dollar was at 80 cents. When? It's raining plastic. Yeah, credit cards, man. Why is your Cash App up? Well, if you feel that you want to support MOT Media and what we do, we only make a crap ton of content for free. 10 years ago. 10 years ago is when it was in the 80s. Yes, the dollar is stronger than it was 10 years ago, and we printed 40% of the money supply in 2020. How does this make sense? How do you guys not understand this? The dollar is stronger. Gold and silver aren't going up in price. People want their dollars. Thank you for the fireworks. I appreciate that. What do you sow? I have never heard of you. You've heard of me now. You've heard of we now. MOT Media, we're going to be bigger than the Daily Wire. We're going to be straight up, we are definitely right-leaning in a lot of our, economic views, social views. We're truthers, and truthers are in high demand. I'm on TikTok. I'm like one of the only truthers that has remained on TikTok in this fashion. We are actually. It's very, very hard to remain on TikTok in this fashion. And so the information I'm providing you guys, you can't find on YouTube for the most part. You can't find on the surface of the internet. I can give you this information because I'm in the depths with the other truthers that have been banned and censored. So I come to you as a salvific figure of truth. Obviously, this is all, I'm being, I like the debate and discourse in this live. Thank you. Obviously, there's some comedy in there, right? And also there's entertainment. Tell me a truth. Here's a truth. Every morning when you wake up, you see the sun in the sky. Most other lives are echo chambers. Yeah. And eventually I would like to make this more of an echo chamber in some regards because I hate having the trolls in here. I do. How's your relationship with your parents? It's okay. I love my mom. I love my dad. It's okay. How's the relationship with your parents? Why do you suppose we don't have inflation if they printed all the money, though? Because people aren't spending, dude, it's because there's an abundance of things. Nobody's buying anything, really. Tell me a political truth. Yeah, so here's a political truth for you. Every political organization in its infancy was inspired by a religion. What's going to happen when the war starts? The war's already started. What are you talking about? You've been in a cultural warfare for years, my friend. MLK or Trump? Trump. Never arm wrestle a guy who's been single for more than 6 months. Yeah, probably not. Probably you shouldn't. What is happiness? I don't know. Working towards your purpose as a man? I don't know. What do you think about the United States and Russia? I think, as I covered before, Russia is winning the war hugely. As Trump would say, it's huge. Huge. Russia is doing huge things, as Trump would say. And the reason they're doing huge things is because, good one, toxic and masculine, it's the opposite of happiness. It's the opposite of sadness. Thank you for stepping in. So BRICS, those of you guys who don't know what BRICS is, it's a global organization between countries that are going against the Western powers. Right now, they make up Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and now Iran wants to join it. Iran's a big oil supplier. Argentina wants to supply it. Get ready for this. Saudi Arabia wants to join it as well. Turkey is going to be leaving NATO to join BRICS, and it's going to say bye-bye to the EU. And then also Egypt wants to join it. Guys, Russia's crushing it. Russia's crushing it. We got La in here. He wants to hop in. He's going to tell me, you ready? He's going to tell me we're going to a fascist state because of the Republican ideologies. What's going on, La? How are things in Greenland?
Hi. So you believe you're a fascist nation?
Yeah, we are becoming more fascist, that's for sure.
Yeah. So I just cut you just 3 seconds ago or something like that. So I don't know what you have been talking about.
We've been talking about a lot of things, but right now I'll address a couple things in the comment section. One on YouTube again, and then one on TikTok. Also, construction materials going up in price because of inflation. No, they're not. They're going up in price because of supply chain breakdowns. Toxic and Masculine. Did you not watch yesterday's stream, dude? Yesterday's stream, we talked about HVAC materials being in short supply. And you know what's causing Freon to go up in price and the condensers to go up in price and labor to go up in price? Shortages. Shortages. Nothing to do with money printing. It has to do with shortages and not being able to get them because of supply chain breakdowns. And Mick, here's a question for you on YouTube. Why are stores offering full refunds and for you to keep your item? Because they have too much of said item. All right. So we're talking about a bunch of stuff here, La.
All right. So I just caught you saying about Western Democratic and Russia, something like. I didn't get the whole thing.
Yeah, BRICS. Not sure if you're aware of it. It is an alignment. It is basically a political alignment between countries who want to go against the Western powers. It consists of currently, officially, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and recently Iran applied, Argentina applied, Saudi Arabia applied to join, Turkey applied to join, and Egypt applied to join. So what we're seeing here is a bifurcation of economies.
Okay, it sounds like it's the majority of the world population.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
If China and India and Brazil they are included, so it sounds like the majority of humankind.
Yes, that's what it's becoming for sure. Then we get some. Hang on. Yes, I do pray on a regular basis. Just to answer some of these questions, how do I manage anxiety? I just work. I don't know. I mean, I just don't think about it. I just work. Do you have many close friends? Not really. What is your purpose in life? My purpose in life, that's a good question. Firstly, everybody's purpose in life, whether you acknowledge it or not, is to serve our Lord, our Creator. And then
that must be me.
And then secondly, if you're a man, it's to have a family and lead them in the direction of the Lord and provide for them. And then I would say thirdly, to provide for your community in whatever skill sets that you possess. That would be your purpose. So part of my purpose on this world is to bring you truth in some ways, shape or form, give you an analysis of things and talk. You know, I've always had this has always been some sort of gift of mine. You know, I've made music all my life. I've always been in front of a screen recording something since I was a kid, performing on stages, etc. So this is something, that, and I think that there's a lot of other stuff there. But anyway, so
I have a question for
you.
If Republicans win the next presidency in America,
mm-hmm.
and want to go out of NATO, that sounds like it would. America would suddenly be not part of the Western world.
Well, America is the spearhead of the Western world.
Yeah, right now. But if you go out of NATO yeah.
Well, America is the military of the world even before NATO.
It's after Second World War, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think what's going to happen ultimately is the United States is going to not be number one.
Yeah, China is going to overtake America. It's unavoidable.
Either China or India, and who knows, maybe you'll have some United States of Africa rise up, and then Africa is very wealthy in resources, and they may, in the future, be number one as a nation, as a collective nation.
United African Nations.
Yes, whatever you want to call them, but yeah, we have the same idea.
Yeah. In in America, you have like two to 4 year plans. In China, they have 50-year, 100-year plans. So easily to know who's going to win in that plan.
Yeah, and I think that the 50 to 100 years plans are much better than the 2 to 4 year plans. You can actually have – we've had this discussion before.
So tomorrow I'm going to another town to work. So
Nice.
very early in the morning I will go. I think I'm not going to sleep because I have something to do. I haven't even packed yet.
Oh, you better get on that, man.
I let my son fall asleep, and I'm gonna just taking him. He's on the edge of the sofa, so I'm holding him with my foot so he doesn't fall.
Nice. All right, man. Well, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. I hope you have a safe trip.
Okay.
And it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Feel free to come on in whenever.
All right, good.
All right, Mick. So as I've covered many of times, so Mick's comment on YouTube was, so basically you're saying the Fed can print as much money as they want and it won't increase inflation because all that matters is the supply chain. No, I've talked about this numerous times. You can print things infinitely, right? Especially the money. But what really matters when it comes to prices is if people are spending those dollars. But if they're saving those dollars, if they're hoarding those dollars and they're not using those dollars, well, then the prices won't go up. Because it's an equation. So are you in a long-term relationship? Yes, you're asking very weird questions. I'm married. How do you quiet your mind? I don't know that you can quiet your mind, but if you get into a flow state, I guess you can consider that. Do you consider yourself a person of peace? I try to be peaceful, yes. Do you feel inner peace? You're asking pretty interesting questions. For the most part, yes. What are you doing to build close friendships? Nothing actively. Do you feel empowered coming on TikTok? I don't know. I mean, not more empowered than I do in real life, I guess. What do you think about President Trump's former wife dying? May the Lord have mercy on her soul. Do you ever experience self-doubt? Yeah, sometimes. How often do you pray and for how long? These are weird questions. I don't know. I pray like once a day. This dude, do you wish you had a girlfriend? Why are you not with your wife right now? Troll. What do you think about Bill Gates giving up $20 billion? It's a joke. He gave it to his foundation. It's probably for tax purposes. If I had to guess, for tax purposes. So, yeah, there's a few topics in here that, we got to talk about. We got why matriarchy, be a man, start a family, don't be vulnerable, be courageous. Because there's this let me get back to explaining this because I didn't even finish this. The fall of Adam and Eve. This was profound to me, guys. This was just really profound. Everybody knows about the fall of Adam and Eve. Adam didn't keep Eve in check. Eve was deceived, ate from the tree of knowledge. And they then fell. And then the Lord gave them a garment of skin. The garment of skin, one view is that it was to protect them from, it was to shield them from death in a lot of ways and sin. So that way they could live in this sinful world they had created. But then there was another fall. In the second fall, please don't go there. This is going to turn into a whole religious session. This is really profound to me. And then we'll let this person in. It's Dean. We'll let It's Dean in here in a second. And then Cain and Abel, when Cain unalived Abel, there was another fall. In the second fall, God added another garment of skin, if you will, but on a societal level saying, yo, Cain, you now get, sir, a city. And so that city serves as a societal skin to protect from sin, because the city will then create what? A government, create a legal system. I don't know. I thought it was really interesting. All right. What's going on?
Hello, brother.
Hey, how's it going?
Dude, it's going pretty good. How are you, man?
Good. I'm doing well.
You know, I just saw you. I just saw the live, and I just had to let you know that I completely agree, brother. You are a man of Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. So am I, and I believe with every single one of your points. And I just had to let you know that I appreciate you.
Thank you. I have a feeling that there's some sarcasm in there.
Absolutely not. Born and raised Catholic in the middle of Colorado. I went to Catholic school, preschool through 8th grade, went to a public high school and spreaded the word of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ through the Christian club I started. You know, now here I am in college trying to do the same thing, but the damn university system, they won't let me start a Christian club or Christian group, whatever you want to call it, because they say it's exclusive.
Okay, yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I know, brother. It's like the modern days. They don't like us, man. They don't like the men. They don't like the real people anymore, man. They just like the little fucking weeboos that like to sit in their room every day jerking their little dicks to, I don't know, like anime fucking cartoons, and it's just unappreciated.
Yeah, troll, major troll, major troll. Major troll. What if a man doesn't want to start a family? Why wouldn't you want to start a family? It's like the most natural thing to do. Why do Christians want to take over the whole world? I don't know of any Christian that wants to take over the whole world. Your wife wishes you were with her. She misses how things. Oh. Trolls. We got so many trolls in here. Whoa, relax. He was a troll. I've seen him in the chat before. Definitely doesn't agree with me. Was definitely trying to trick me, thinking that I was stupid. But I'm smarter than him. That guy was great. He was a troll. He wasn't real, Tito. He wasn't real. Natural thing to do. Why? What do you mean, why? Are you being serious right now? See? He's a troll. He's not real. Why? Well, it's the reason. It's one of the main reasons you're here on this earth. Yeah, is a troll too. Yeah, tool for whatever. Too old for this, but who cares? Love your wife. Yeah, another troll. So we're just going to start banning the trolls once we see them. You know what? Toxic and masculine. I'm going to make you my my moderator to help me keep things on troll like in the chat as we grow. So now you are a moderator. Ban people who you see are being trolls. On site. Maybe give them one chance. After the one chance, ban. America, and if they get like really disagreeable, like not civil in their disagreement, ban. America is the only country that allows men to I mean, it isn't the only country, but that ain't a good thing. And it ain't even marriage. It can't be marriage. But we got to watch what we say on TikTok. But yeah, so be a man and start a family, because that's the most natural thing to do as a human being, is to procreate. And, you know, to get a little religious on you here, the first commandment one of the first commandments, I don't know if it's the first, I think it is the first, that nobody really talks about is when God tells Adam, be fruitful and multiply. Tells Adam and Eve, be fruitful and multiply. Okay, so only what you think a family is then, forced families, but not some families. What is forced families? If Bill Gates was what he wants everyone to believe he would get rid of all of his rich. Dude, you got to make a better sentence. Make a better sentence. Let's try it again. Unless my dyslexia is just kicking in and I'm the slow one here. Tito, you're an admin as well. I don't know how long you can be in here, but Toxic and Masculine's usually in here the whole stream. I know you pop in and out, but you're an admin. Ban trolls, ban people who get extremely disrespectful after one try. After we try to correct them one time, and then they disobey, they're out of here. They're out of here. They're out of the castle. They're banished they're exiled from the community. You know, I was watching this interesting video. What is the New World Order? There was this really cool video I watched earlier today on YouTube. It was of this, it was a very short clip of this African society. You do have the power. Of this African, like tribe. I don't know exactly where they were, but they were saying that they do social shaming for crimes and for social crimes. So they didn't specify in the kind of crimes or anything, but they will be like, yo, he did this and that, and they'll shame him and they'll exile him from the community. That's good. So can't I be a man because I have cancer? What do you mean? Like, of course you can be a man and have cancer. And if you do have cancer, that really sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I know somebody else who's had the same ordeal. I mean, you're definitely a half a man now. Oh man, but I don't know. Can you still have children? I can't have kids. You can't have kids. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Well, there's exceptions to every rule. It's complicated. Can mental environment make this? I don't know what you're talking about. Well, if you can't have kids, that's very unfortunate. So then you can just do the next best thing, and that's become a monk. Go live a celibate life in a monastery. Pray for all of our souls. So am I now a less a man? Well, I mean, technically, yeah. I mean, half of your manhood is gone. So that's unfortunate. But it's okay. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's not a big deal. It really isn't. I'm just poking fun. We got to be able to joke about these kind of things too. People get too sensitive. So, if you can't have a family, then just be a really good uncle, be a really good brother, be a really good son. It's that simple. Not everybody can have kids. Hey, you won't go far asking for cash. Just leave it to them. Friendly advice. Do you do anything business wise? Are you a salesman? I'm both. I'm a salesman, and I also own some businesses. You ask people for money when you do something. That's just how it works. Okay. It is. If I'm providing you any kind of service, entertainment, value of any sort, you like my analysis at the beginning of the show, you like the talking points we have on the show, support. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's all free. You can get this on YouTube. Thank you, Tito. You can get this on YouTube. You can get this on soon to be BitChute, Odyssey, all that. All the places you get podcasting, all of it, everywhere. Thank you for the fireworks. Boom, boom, boom. It's like the Katy Perry song, Fireworks. But yeah, so let's talk. And I'm the king. You see that? Patriarchies, not matriarchies. But let's talk about why matriarchies. Question mark. I did this more so as a talking point, hoping to get some people in here who would be like, yeah, I'll tell you why we want a matriarchy. And then I would have, demolished them and explained to them why matriarchies never work. They never have worked. Anthropologists have never found a matriarchy in society. And the reason that is because when they encounter their opposites, what happens? Well, their opposites win. I don't know how much I can say patriarchy in a positive light. And also the opposite of a matriarchy is much more loving and caring for the woman than a matriarchy is. I think there have been several matriarch societies in human history. Well, from what I was just researching, anthropologists have never found one. Nolan Knows is the YouTube channel. And if there were any matriarchies, they were short-lived. There are matriarchies. I mean, according to anthropologists, there have not been. And I'm just saying, I did quite a bit of research on this today. And I would believe it. I tend to believe it. And the reason I believe it is because the only time there have been, ask for money and you shall receive 10% for the week. Thank you. Those are your tithes. All right. When you come in here, this is church. You know what they say in the Bible, right? I'm just kidding. I don't want to get blasphemous. This is not church. I'm not your pastor. I'm not your father. Anthropologist. You're a white anthropologist who also want the link to remove Native history. I don't know what race has to do with any of this. I don't. So, and did you really laugh out loud? It's so annoying when people put LOL at the end of their thing and they don't really laugh out loud. They just do it as like a passive aggressive, apa, you know? But they exist now. They won't exist for long. They just don't work. They just don't work. They're looking for you to report. Yeah, I know. This is a game of chess, especially in North America. Okay, you can think that. But they just don't work. Guys, come on. Everybody knows the opposite of matriarchy. Everybody knows the opposite of matriarchy is the most common thing in human history. Why is that? Because man strong, woman not. It's very simple. They don't work. They don't. Women are biologically different. They want to raise children. They want to be protected and provided for. The way you allow a woman's femininity to blossom is in the opposite of a matriarchy. Lack critical information on human history. The Mozos, they do. Intellectual D-bag. Do you have a wife? Do you have a girlfriend? Do you have children? I don't know what that is. But why would they not work? Just curious. They are inherent. They are. Why wouldn't it work? Very simple. Men are designed to protect, provide, procreate. Women also the latter. And what do you need in a civilization? Well, you need a group of men to protect, because this is well known that the opposite of men don't do well in the battlefield. They don't. They'll get destroyed every time. There was actually there was a Marine study where combat trained opposite of men went against on-combat trained men. Guess who won? The on-combat trained men won the majority of the time. We also know that the opposite of men are hypergamous. And that is also true. Men built 99% of everything you see. Where do you see the opposite of men being bricklayers? But in a power hierarchy, why would those differences matter? Because the opposite of men don't operate within a dominant hierarchy. They are not. These are things that are innate. Once again, I ask you, do you have children? I have daughters. I will tell you right now that they act very, very feminine. Not because we raised them to be feminine, but it's because they are women. They are girls, actually. It's crazy that our nation is leading to untrained men. They're not joining, and that's a problem. Yeah, this is true. I mean, it's not a problem that they're not joining the military. It's actually a really good thing they're not joining the military, because Tito, man, The military ain't a good place to be. Just banker wars, dude. Just a bunch of propaganda, banker wars. Confirmation bias? No, it's called reality. No, because you're raised that way, trust me. Do you have children? Is anybody in here who is telling me these are social constructs have children? Because I assure you, if you had children, you would realize, if you're not delusional, that these things are not social constructs. I promise you. Yep. Awesome. Well, then you see that the differences are not social constructs. They're not. And if you don't see that, you're delusional. Literally, science goes against this man. Literally, the science you're talking about, and did you really laugh out loud, intellectual D-bag? Did you really laugh out loud? They are, do you have a boy or do you have a daughter? I have 2 daughters and 1 daughter on the way. The 2 daughters that are roaming this earth at the moment is based on your environment. It is not. It is not. No, you have things that make you a certain way. We have different hormones. We have different structures. If you're being honest, Hustle Rose, about your kids being binary, you're out of here. That's child abuse. Yeah, bro, you're talking no sense, no evidence for what you say. Are societal. Every role on Earth is environmental. They tested male, female monkeys, played with dolls, those trucks. Don't even need to do monkeys. I mean, this is just so obvious. It's not even a debate. You're insane, intellectual D-bag. You're not an intellectual, but you are a D-bag. These things aren't even debatable. I mean, anybody who's honest knows this. Yes, they do. Exactly. And the culture caters to those differences, which you would then say makes them a social construct. No, it doesn't. It caters to those differences and empowers the differences. Improve your argument. Don't use labels. Yeah, exactly. The monkeys are a controlled group. We don't teach monkey gender. Yeah, exactly. Dude, now you're in the... No, you are in literally the retard zone. And you're delusional. And you still haven't answered the question. Am I having a conversation with a childless man about this stuff? Intellectual D-bag. You need to remove the intellectual from your name and just have you be called D-bag, because you're not an intellectual. I got 3 kids. Then you know. I got 3. Look at that. 1 minute. Man, the mods are great. Exactly. Okay, so guys, you guys want some real evidence for this? No one is agreeing with you. It doesn't matter that no one's agreeing with me. You guys are all wrong. You guys are all wrong. Once again, did you laugh out loud, intellectual D-bag? I doubt it. So, in Scandinavia, guess what they did? They had their gender roles made so that way they have complete equality. And you know what happened? Men and women reverted into their natural places. You gave them the opportunity to choose. Guess what happened? Men did men things, women did women things. I mean, it's very simple, guys. It's very, very simple. I agree with you. Thank you, Friendly Differences Pod. And also, this other person here, major psychologist degrees, gone. Boom. Guys, these things are just like known. If you just look throughout history, it's always patriarchies. Always. Dude, all scientific research on the subject disagrees with you. They don't. I just told you one. Did you not listen? in the Scandinavian countries, they had gender equality as much as you can get it. And what happened? They resorted to their natural roles. Fact. Provable. It is a part of the Western society. Do you not understand what Western countries are? Scandinavian countries are a part of the West, bro. They are. And guess what? I'm being Eurocentric. Okay. If you just look throughout the world, and give him a chance, guys. Mods, give this three. Apparently he has 3 children, but he doesn't know that there's a difference. So he's delusional, obviously, but we'll leave him in here for a second. Obviously, you're delusional, and that's okay. I mean, it's not really okay. Hopefully, I can break your delusion. It's only true in Western societies. It is not. If you look across the world at natural tribes that live in nature, right? Tribes that live in nature, and they don't have the amenities we have today in our civilization, our modern civilization, you will see the roles be in their natural place. Fact. All the time. Modern day tribes, that's how it is. That's how it be. It's so obvious. The reason people don't understand this is because they're brainwashed. You don't have to agree with the host, but refrain from name calling. Yeah, thank you, toxic and masculine. I grew up in Western society. I gave two peoples who are matriarchal. I'm telling you that they don't matter. They are so insignificant, nobody even knows about them. Nobody cares about them. They will never do anything productive in the world. They will never be a United States. They will never be a Russia. They will never be a China. They will never, ever, 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 ever do anything of any significance. They will remain maybe not even a footnote in history. They won't last 1,000 years. They won't last 100 years. They'll be lucky to last another 50 years. So now they exist, but they don't matter. I'm saying if what you are saying is true, it doesn't matter. They're insignificant. Did anybody in here know about them? No, they don't. What do they trade? What is their exports? What is their imports? What do they contribute to the global society, to the economy? What do they do? What do their armies look like? Are their armies all full of the opposite of men? Are they? And now let's do a little thought experiment here. If their army is the opposite of men, who's going to win once they go against Russia? No, you answer my question. Who's going to win if they go against Russia? If their army consists of the opposite of men, who will win in a war with Russia? Russia, all the time. No, I'm not. I'm showing you that it doesn't even matter, that nobody cares. What do they do? What significant thing are they doing right now? Tell me something about them. Tell me something cool about them that people care about. Tell me one thing. I personally also am confused why the power hierarchy is dependent on gender. Because women don't want power. Men do. Women are hypergamous. They want men of power. Because women are not conflict. They're not into direct conflict. They're passive. Men are in direct conflict. This is why men go to war. This is why men do combat sports. And you may say, well, what about women's UFC? It's nonsense. It's not natural. They should not be doing that. During the fall of Rome, they had women doing the same thing. Yeah, you are. That's not the argument. The argument is whether they exist. You said anthropologists had never discovered one. You're wrong. Someone, right? I know men who don't necessarily want power. Exactly. Yeah, well, all men do want some power at some level. They do. They do. Innately, they do. They want some respect. They want to know that they're stronger than other men in some regards. Men are very competitive. And some women want power. It's a very modern idea, and it's the exception. And yeah, I stand by that. There's never been one significant matriarchy that anthropologists have discovered. And I also mentioned in the beginning that if there were, they no longer exist because they encountered the opposite. Respect leads to success. It does. And women look for a successful man. Women look for a man who's typically smarter than them, stronger than them, more resourceful than them, has a high status in society. Back in the day, men would fight over women. They still kind of do in other ways. In other cultures, they do to this day. Women choose the winners. Women sit back, determine who's the strongest man that they can get. They get with the strongest man. I mean, I haven't done research, so I can't speak intelligently about it, but I'm just curious. Yeah, if you're really interested in learning about this, Nolan Knows is a really valuable resource. He has a YouTube channel. He is a banned professor because he talked about the patriarchy. Here's an article on 6 matriarchal societies. Once again, I ask you, what significance do they have? And how long have they been around? And were their societies built by men? So, 3 questions. What significance do they have in the world? You weren't arguing significant. I am now. What significance do they have in the world? Did men build their society? And how long have they been around? You're not answering any of the questions. I'll tell you one more time. What significance do they have in the world? Just tell me one thing significant about them. Also, tell me who built their society. Who was their first ruler? Tell me that. Please, who was their first ruler and who built their society? Please tell me this. I'm genuinely curious because you could be wrong. Who knows? Maybe there's some Amazonian women out there that are like super badass that I don't know about. So prove me wrong. Also, the last thing, how long have they been around? So tell me those 3 things. Yes, but it was after. Who built Egypt, though, Toxic and Masculine? Who established Egypt? You should have studied that before speaking on the subject. If you're going to come in here and try to educate me, answer me those 3 questions. What significance do they have? Why? Why the hell should I study them? Pharaohs, and pharaohs were men. Why the hell should I study them? What significance do they have? Who was their first ruler? And did men build their society? And then lastly, I forgot the last one. Significance to who? You're dodging the questions because you know all of those points would destroy your points that you're trying to prove. Answer them. Answer them or shut up about your matriarchies because they just don't work. Cleopatra wasn't a pharaoh, but she was a queen, I believe. Let's see. She was a descendant. Yes, but she was also. Let's see. She was running the show, no? Yeah, and I believe it was after. You know more about this than me, Paige. Didn't Cleopatra started running the show after her husband died or something? Dude, just to make you were wrong that matriarchal societies exist. You said they didn't. Why can't you just answer the question? I just told you I'm here to learn. If you want to prove me wrong, you've proven me wrong, that okay, they do exist. Fine. But throughout history, they haven't. And so you still haven't answered my questions. So we don't even know if they're actually matriarchal. That's like saying right now that the UK is a matriarchy, when in reality, what created it was the opposite of matriarchy. So that's what I'm trying to get at. Or maybe he can get in the box and debate. Yeah. Oh, so there we go. So Cleopatra The throne was passed to her and her brother. It began with the death of her father. So once again, answer me this, my man. Who started their society? You know, we'll look into it. Matriarchies. Let's see. Like, dude, you can't even answer any questions. So let's see here. Gotta do my digging right now. Looking at some stuff right now, trying to find any one of these societies. Just one. I'm not an expert on matriarchal societies. I just, from a cultural anthropologist class I took, that they, so you're in the modern college. You're in modern college. Don't believe them. Trust me, I know. I got a couple degrees. Oh, there's one. Thank you, Tito. Let's see their history. Who even cares? There are exceptions as well. Once again, they don't matter. They will never amount to anything. They're in China. Guys, they're in China. China's a patriarchy. Their history is not irrelevant to the argument, because if it's true, okay, well, let's explore it, because let's see if it's really true. Deep in southwest China lies Lugo Lake, a place known as Kingdom of Women. But they're inside the freaking Chinese government, which has been controlled by who? Patriarchies. Oh my God, you guys are like, so this doesn't even count. This doesn't even count. Give me a society that's its own nation, that doesn't have to live within a patriarchal nation to exist. Come on. Come on. I don't accept that. I don't accept it. The standard I'm looking for is the same standard I'll hold a patriarchy to. You must have your own nation in which women are the rulers. Show me one. Actually, let me just go back in the chat, because he gave me 2. He said that he was sending me an article with 6, but I don't see an article with 6. So the Mososus are in China. They're not their own thing. God, people, use your noggins. I'm trying to find the other society that this guy mentioned, which I can't. That doesn't matter. It's a matriarchal society. Every human being lives in a country run by a patriarchy. Exactly. That's my point. So that was right. The anthropologists are 100% correct, my man, that where the hell are the matriarchies? Where are they? Where are the nations that were created by matriarchies? Doesn't exist. My point is still valid. You were wrong. Accept defeat. Bow down. Kiss the ring. What's the Germany with Merkel? Right. Okay. Tito, in Costa Rica. But who runs Costa Rica? Who created Costa Rica? Men. My family, my mom was totally running the show. San Francisco, yeah. But that was not... My argument now remains because you gave me a society that lives within a patriarchy. So the only reason the matriarchy can even exist is because of the opposite of the patriarchy. They don't exist. They don't. They do not exist on their own without patriarchies, because if they could, they would, and they don't. Give me one nation that's totally matriarchal. Give me one. Give me one. You can't do it because it ain't never happened. It has never happened. No, you can't be serious to be that deluded, to be like, oh, well, I'm going to use this society as a piece of my evidence to show you that matriarch societies. Exactly. Thank you, Tito. Thank you. They all live within what? The opposite of patriarchy. Now it's a nation? Dude, it's always been a nation. Give me something of significance. That was the first thing I said. What nation? I know I said society, but if you're going to have a society, it is then assumed that it's in a nation as well. It's implied. You can't find one. So you're wrong. Apologize. You don't have to apologize, but you're wrong. You're wrong. I was right. You don't see how you keep moving the goalpost. Afghanistan made by men. Wrong? I'm not wrong. You're wrong. Do you not see the flaw in your logic here? Oh, well, you see, they actually exist, but they only exist because men run the show and protect the entire nation. It's insane what you're saying. It's insane. You're wrong. You've been brainwashed. And it's okay. We all have been brainwashed in some way, shape, or form. It's all good. It's all good. But if you're going to come in here, please come correct. That's all I'm saying. Because you were wrong. Dude, you're running away from your original argument. They don't exist. They have no nation. They live within patriarchies. Stop doubling down. I gave you the benefit of the doubt. No, I literally was like, yo, you're right. I literally told you were right. But then we looked into it, and they have to live within patriarchies. It's insane. So it makes your point invalid. It does, entirely. The only reason they can have those communities is because they have men protecting them and running the bigger show. Fact. My point stands. You may not be able to grasp what I'm saying, and that's okay. It's okay. So, look at how you're making the rules as you go. I can do what I want. This is my show. And also, you never answered any of the questions. The reason you never answered any of my questions is because you knew you were wrong. Now it has to be a nation. When you say a society, guys, let me ask everybody else in the chat here. When somebody says, can you give me a society that does X, Y, or Z? Doesn't that imply a nation? Paige, wouldn't you say that societies imply a nation as well? No, I'm asking somebody else aside from you, because we know you're going to say no. When you think of a society, you typically think of a nation because you think of a group of people. A nation is a collective group of people. Societies are within nations. Nations have societies. Okay, you know what? You're right. They do exist, but they can't exist without patriarchies. Fact. They can't. They can't exist without the opposite of what they are. So it just shows you that they're ineffective. They require men. And it's cool because patriarchies require women. Can you have a society without a nation? Can you have a society without a nation? No, you can't. You can't. No, societies are all within a nation. They are. Find me one society that is not in a nation. Like the royal society. So you are right. There are fraternities, there are things like that that are claimed to be societies that are not in nations. I mean, they are in nations because they have to have a nation, right? So they're all within nations. Antarctica will one day hold that society. Yeah, exactly. So, yes, I have no issue admitting when I'm wrong whatsoever. So, yes. But societies can't exist without a nation. I mean, there has to be a nation. There has to be a nation for societies to exist. Every society exists within inside of a nation. They do. And the nations that allow for those societies to exist are all what? The opposite of matriarchies. They are. That's fine. But there are societies in the Amazon that have contact with governments of their NATO. I'm lost on this topic. Yeah, we've went all around. So let me clarify. There is no nation in the world, there's no history of there ever being a self-sufficient nation that has been a matriarchy. Yeah, it doesn't matter, but they're still in a nation. I get what you're saying, and you're right. I'll give you that. You're right. But, and yes, technically, there are matriarch societies, but there have never been matriarchal nations. There have never been any matriarchies that could exist without a patriarchy protecting them. Yes, you are right. Nations are not a modern thing. Nations are a group of people. The nation state, yes, I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying, that the nation state is a new thing. It used to be city states, etc. But you know what I mean. You 100% know what I mean. Societies have to be within some sort of collective government. They are always. City states, especially today. But the point still stands. Matriarchies, they don't. These societies existed before their landmass became a nation. Yeah, you could call them city states. So you know what I mean. I'm just using the modern lingo. You know exactly what I mean. They're city states. They were city states. They were communities. They had their own form of governments. Yes, of course. But anyway, now that we know that there is no matriarchy that can exist without a patriarchy, we're cool. So, yeah. And then the other thing, this idea that I want to touch on a little bit is vulnerability. Come on, be honest. I am. I told you were right on societies, but you do need a city state. You do need some form of government in order for the societies to exist coherently. The societies will then form their own community, their own little governments. I am being 100% honest with you. And then when I asked my questions in regards to the matriarchal societies, you couldn't answer them because you knew they would destroy the point in which you were trying to make. Republican or Democrat? But these societies predate nation states. Once again, We've already went over this. It's not hard. It's not hard to be vulnerable. Our lives are ruled by fear. They're not supposed to be. Once again, I said city-states. I've said that societies make up their own governments. If they're like before nation states, a woman will run America? Probably. And that's when you know you got a failed nation. They kind of already do. So, you know, matriarchies. They're very fascinating because they can't exist without patriarchies. But yeah, so vulnerability. Let's talk about vulnerability. There's this idea today that men should be vulnerable and show their emotions. That's nonsense. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants a man who's going to be over emotional. They want a man that's going to be courageous in the face of fear. Society all wants that. The dark side. The dark side. He's a good guy. We're going to have a good combo. You know that some conservatives argue wrongly that the patriarchy doesn't exist, right? Yeah, and they're stupid. They're stupid to say the patriarchy doesn't exist. The patriarchy is a beautiful thing for men and women. What's going on the dark side?
Well, I can't agree with you on this one. I just have to listen. So continue.
Yeah, so the opposite of a matriarchy, for one, as we've already established, we can't find a matriarchy that has made any nation that has had any significance in history ever, not one time. And the reason for that is men have the quality of protector. We've talked about this, the dark side. Men are protectors. Men are the ones that are combat ready. Men.
Don't put my name in that.
We did talk about this. We talked about this yesterday. I never said that you agreed. I never said that you agreed, but we did talk about this. We did talk about this.
With all due respect, just like you, I can respect your point, but just don't put my name in that.
Okay, I don't know what's wrong with saying that we had a conversation about this, but anyway, men.
No, I mean, I get that. I get what you're saying. I totally 100% back what you're saying, but don't throw me out under the bus.
Nobody's throwing you under the bus. To say that we've had a conversation is not throwing you under the bus. But anyway, this is nonsense to go over this for too many times. Man, ain't all that, dude. Look at all the state.
First off, you're talking about matriarchs. First off, I wish I could find a woman like you have, and I can put myself in that position. However, I cannot. Therefore, I cannot put myself in the same situation. Therefore, I cannot relate. Therefore, I don't want you to put me in the same hierarchy. I get what you're saying, right? Like men are dominant, women are like the home keepers, right? But I've never been so fortunate enough to be in your position. Therefore, I cannot relate to what you're saying.
Yeah, there was nothing about relatability. I was just merely stating the fact that we had a conversation in regards to men and women and the protector role. Didn't say you agreed with me, but once again, we don't have to keep going off of this. That's all I was saying. I'm not lumping you in with my beliefs at all. So, in the opposite of a matriarchy,
I wish I could have that role, but I don't know if I'm strong enough, and I don't know if I have a woman who's willing to play that role.
it's not.
And here's the biggest thing is that, like, you laugh because you're like, oh, geez, like,
No, I laugh because it's not that the woman wants that. I mean, they do innately, they do, but it's not like they're just going to be in that role for anybody either. You have to be a man of respect
Right.
in order for a woman to be like, I'll be in that role. I'll do what you want me to do. I'll be subordinate. You have to be that
Okay,
man.
but you have to understand, like, today's time, like, that's not an easy role for men and women to find each other like that. Like, chances are, like, you'll try that and it does not end well.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of women in society today are insane. And it's because they had poor fathers. They didn't have any strong male role models in their life. They didn't have any direction. Hey, what's going on from
But,
Twitch?
I mean,
Mad
okay,
Strangulate.
look,
Yeah, what's going on?
I 100 respect the fact that you're like male dominant. Like, this is my house, this is my rules, this is my castle. I 100 respect that, but I just don't understand how I can apply that to today's society with the modern woman.
Just be a man. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I mean,
No, because with all due respect, like 90% of that would not end well.
pretty much every relationship I've been in, it's been like this. And if it
Okay,
wasn't, it
so-
didn't work out. I just left.
So whoa. Now you're putting percentages in there. So 90 percentages, that's the way it happens. So what about 10% that didn't go well?
Well, the 10%, well, the ones that didn't go well, we just left each other. If you're not going to respect boundaries in which I have set forth, then I don't want to be with you. It's that simple.
Right, but there was no like physical, like, because if you try to insert what you're trying to say, there's a lot of women that will physically beat you.
Dude, you're a 6'8" giant. Isn't that comical when you talk like that? It's comical to me, and I'm like 5'8".
It's not. It's not. Here's why. Because it doesn't matter about my size. It matters about, like, people are like 50-50, you know, like we should all agree 50% each other. And some women will beat your ass.
What do you mean by start a family? I mean, have children, get married. If you're a man, find yourself a wife and start a family. If you're a woman, find yourself a husband, start a family. That's what I mean. Have children.
Right. And that's fantastic. And I applaud that. But however, like, some women will beat the fuck out of your ass.
So then you just don't be with those women.
Well, it's not that.
It's that simple. It's that simple. It really is. If a woman's going to be upset about your position, it really is. If a woman's going to be upset about a position that you take and she says she doesn't like it, she gets infuriated. Okay, well then leave.
Right, but some women will not. Like, we talked about this before. Like, she will not let you leave, and she will get violent. But here's the thing: is like you can't control who you are attracted to.
I think you can.
Wait, you can control who you're attracted to?
To a certain degree, yeah. I mean, you can train yourself to become unattracted to somebody. Like if For the example that you're providing, if a woman is going crazy or a man is going crazy, you can be like, yo, you're really attractive, but your qualities are making you very unattractive. And so I'm going to detach myself from the attraction and leave you.
Right. But here's the thing. At 6'8", like, if I disagree with my woman, I'm automatically made the bad guy.
Who cares?
The police?
Yeah. So, I mean, Western men kind of have it hard because the system is in favor of women. This is a fact, but
Well, I mean, let me ask you this. Do you agree with this or not? So by being 6'8", I believe that I want to date shorter women, right? Because I hate being tall. And I want to date short women. And I think that I can kind of like make our children in between.
okay.
But the unfortunate thing is that the shorter the woman, the higher the temper.
That's not true.
No, trust me, it is.
Trust me, I know too, man. I'm 5'8", and I'm finding I've always been
Okay.
attracted to women that are shorter than me.
So what height is your wife?
I don't know, like 5'4".
5'4". Right, but if you're 6'8", like, I just want a shorter woman to be like, so I can even out like my heights.
Hey, the dark side. You know who I think would help you? I'm not being sarcastic at all. I think somebody who would really help you, like I'm not going to be the one to give you relationship advice, but I can just tell you what I do as a man. Like I can tell you, I mean, you can try to follow, but this Chris guy, he knows Andrew Tate, man. Look up Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate's a
I
G.
see him.
He's a G. He'll tell you how to. You're 6'8",
Told
dude.
me nothing like important.
What was that?
I see him, but he hasn't shown me anything important.
Yeah, so just do some research into the man because he talks about relationships a lot. Andrew Tate he's the top G. He's the top G. What do you mean by be a man and start a family? You are Tate 2.0. I don't know about that. I don't have a Bugatti. I'm not a kickboxing world champion. My father was not a grand chess master. I did box. I did wrestle. So, I mean, I have that going for me. I'm also not a millionaire. And, I'm also not in.
I did UFC. I did Taekwondo. I did all of that. But it doesn't mean anything. Like, your genes don't translate.
They do, definitely. But let me answer some other things that we got in here. So what do you mean by be a man, start a family? I mean, if you are a man, use the thing that God gave you.
Stupid question.
And find a woman, do what you're supposed to do as a man, make babies, and raise them.
I mean, seriously, like, if you're to ask a normal man, hey, what are you going to do? Start a family? But duh.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really silly question. What do you mean by start a family? I mean exactly what it says in the text. If you are a man, you have a duty to your nation. You have a duty to your bloodline to keep it going.
Right. I mean, it's been started since, like, literally every lineages, like every, like literally every, like, person that has a hierarchy. Do, do you disagree?
I don't know
Like,
what you're saying.
if you hold a hierarchy, don't you want your firstborn to be a man? Why? Because you want them to carry on that lineages.
Yeah, of course you do. And then let's see here. So we had another question. It says, "What if you can't? Not all men can get a." Well, guess what? Then God has decided you are not one of the individuals that gets to pass on your seed in this world. Unfortunately, you better have a brother or you better have a sister or your bloodline is done. You were not one of the chosen ones. I'm sort of joking. I'm sort of joking.
That's stupid. Why? Because I feel like sometimes women have.
Oh, hang on. We got a warning. Let's be careful on the language that we use here. I got to tone it back. We're going to tone it back. We're going to be very butterflies and rainbows and Musa.
All right. How about this? So sometimes when men birth women, sometimes women are just very much intelligent and far superior. And we just have to understand, like, men are not always superior.
Yeah, of course.
Is that appropriate?
Of course. Gotta.
Oh, the wink, wink, wink.
Gotta do. You know, we got TikToks in here telling us we gotta watch what we're saying. So yeah, you're totally right. Men are not superior. Women are awesome. Women deserve to be in charge of everything.
Like,
Wink, wink.
sometimes, like, women, like, if you have to understand, like, God of War, like we talked about, or what was the book from Japan?
Yeah, The Art of War.
The Art of War. And they used women to be their, like, right hand men. And so I can't put nothing past women because they're very strategic. They're very logical. They're so much more than you think.
I love women. I got a wife. I got 3 daughters.
My point is that why
They're
would
awesome.
you put a woman in charge of your family?
I wouldn't.
No, but you do.
No. That's my role.
Right. So you're saying that you have the final say, but who ultimately controls your family?
Me. Well, ultimately it's God.
But would you say that, like, who controls your kids? Your woman?
She leads
And then
them, yes.
You get the final say?
Yes.
So my point is this, is that you're just downplaying women for a little bit.
No, I just know where things belong. Let's see here. So we got some other comments. Have you ever read A Brave New World by Aldous Huxley? I have. It is a good book, and I think it's a good prediction as to what's going on in the world today. And then The Art of War, yes, we have. In many communities, women are the decision makers. Yeah, those communities don't last.
I'm not trying to take anything away from what you're saying. Okay? I'm just saying that sometimes women are crafty.
100%. Maybe we need to change up the topic a little bit because TikTok, I don't know when they're going to be like, yo, you got to get out of here. Because I don't know what triggered it, but something triggered it.
Right. We see these comments that are coming in, and I don't want to take anything away from mom.
Me either. Actually, what I'm saying empowers them even more. My worldview is such that it empowers women to the point where they will be treated like queens.
Right, but sometimes you have to understand, like, we think we're the ultimate, like, decision makers, but in reality, we're not.
So I agree in that God is the ultimate decision maker. And then it comes man, and then you know how the rest follows.
Wait, whoa. Because your perception of that, God is the ultimate decision, then men, and then you get kind of vague.
You know what I mean? I'm being careful with my language. Please do the same.
Hey, I'm not trying to be.
No, I'm not saying that you're doing anything with me. Seriously, you believe in God? Yeah. Why wouldn't I believe in God? There's no reason not to believe in a God.
Right, but it's like, imagine this weight, and it's a tear. But you have to understand, like, when it comes to the ultimate weight, you have to understand, like, women take care of your offspring.
We haven't agreed. We have not disagreed on anything you've been saying in regards to that. And which one? The Christian God, the one true God.
Okay.
There's people in the comment section, so I'm holding multiple conversations at the same time.
No, I mean, if I need to go, I need to go.
I mean, do you have anything else that you want to talk about? Because it just seems like we're going to go in circles here with our conversation.
Well, you know what? I would like to see what other people have to say.
Okay.
So thank you so much for having me, and I hope we can talk again.
Yeah, for sure. Why don't you believe in the Aztec gods? It's very simple. I mean, look at what they did. Look at their history. I already blocked them because we had this one. You can find the clip somewhere on TikTok. I will block them next time. Yeah, or the Greek gods. Because it's incoherent. Christianity provides the most coherent form of religion and an understanding of a beginning and end. It also deals with evil the best. And also, we can't forget about Jesus Christ, who shows us exactly how one can be godly. Bro literally said he dated a 16-year-old as a... I mean, I don't see any issue with that. For one, there is laws, especially in the United States. That's the age of consent. Then you go to other countries like Canada, Europe, it's 14. So, I mean, you're out of here. Because you are obviously not of the brain power to be in this chat room. Dark Side Voices, like he puts... Oh, man, he seems like a good guy. My birth dad had sons and none had boys, so our bloodline has ended. Very unfortunate. Unless you had daughters, right? Unless you had daughters, and then your daughters can carry that on. Maybe they won't have the same last name, but that's okay. I have daughters. I love my daughters. Do you hear them?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I have twin daughters and a daughter on the way. So, what's going on?
Hello, brother. What's up? How are you?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
Too hot in Europe. I'm European, by the way. Too hot. Too hot. It's really crazy here right now. I don't know how to convert into Fahrenheit, but I know it's like, because I have an American friend living here in Portugal, and it's like 120 Fahrenheit.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if that's a lot or not.
It is.
But in Celsius, I know how to say it, but I'm so sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, it's been hot over here too, where I'm at in America.
No, trust me. Yeah. I saw the map. I usually look at my map, and it's like too freaking hot. I don't know first. I was about to do it, by the way. But then I look at your map and India and all the places. It's too hot. I don't know what's happening. It's too hot. But anyway. Yeah. Well, I'm an atheist. I just want to start by it. I was raised Catholic. But what did you mean? Like for example, you don't believe like women can be like the Catholics, you know, the ones who actually grow our community. I'm not saying that you say that, by the way. I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
Do you believe that women can be actual force of nature, that they are like we are, obviously, and they can just do exactly the same? Not in all areas. Like we can't also in all of our areas, but do you understand what I mean?
Kind of, but I don't get your question.
Okay, my question is, do you believe that the matriarchy is the right answer, for example?
No, it isn't. Provably, it isn't. It's never existed on its own.
Okay.
It's always required the opposite of it in order to be in existence.
Yes. Okay. And we always needed, like, even even the best, like, let's just say this, let's be extremely masculine about this. Even the best men, they need a strong woman to teach them, to raise them. Because if you're only raised by men, and this is my only opinion, you lack a little bit. I think both sexes should get a little bit of both. I don't know, like, men should understand a little bit of like what it means to be like a female, understand the femininity about it, and the struggles, definitely struggles, so we can be better men. And also women should understand what it means to be a man these days, and it's not easy.
Right. So yeah, we definitely have some common ground on there. So the mother's role is to teach the child about the family's values and empathy, whereas the father's role is to teach order, discipline, and the way of the world, reality.
All my discipline from my mother. Trust me, I'm half African, and trust me, my mother gave me a lot of discipline. Let's just say, yeah.
Right.
But I just think it's just different between cultures.
There are, so there are differences between cultures, but there's a ton of overlap to the point where it's something you can't ignore.
Yeah, it's like the Toxie, the Mescal. Jesus Christ, I hate the nickname, but yes, he's completely right. It's a complementary strengths between male and female.
100%.
Yes, 100%. Yes.
Yep, I totally agree with that.
And by the way, are you? Let me just ask. No, please don't change your nickname. Is the sounds very toxic, but trust me, I'm not.
What was your question?
Do you think right now in the States, I don't know if you're even from the States, but by
I
your
am.
accent, I think
I
you
am.
are.
Yep, I am.
Okay. Do you think like people are too far gone in some ways? It's like everything is an extreme opinion. Extremists, like everything is right or wrong. There's no middle ground. And here in Europe, we watch our documentaries, we watch our news, and we watch some of your news, and we're like, what the hell is going on in the United States? It looks like you're going into a civil war like in 10 years, to be honest.
I would agree with that assessment.
That's crazy.
I-
That's crazy.
But I also think a lot of Americans view Europe the same way. A lot of us don't think that the European Union is going to last. Look at what's going on in Italy. Look at what's going on in the Netherlands, rather, Germany. I don't know exactly where you're at, but there's a lot of issues going on.
What do you mean?
Well, in Italy, their government's always in a precarious state. They just got rid of their prime minister.
There's a lot of corruption in Italy.
Yep.
Yes.
And so that's huge. And then you also have the Netherlands, where their government, from what I hear in Western media, was trying to really negatively affect their farmers. That's huge. In Germany, you have the fact that they can't keep the heat on right now. It's very hard for them to do any heat, do any cooling.
Actually, right now it's extremely easy. Everything is okay, but they are worried. I don't want to curse, but anyway, you know what I mean.
Yep.
They are extremely worried because 70% of the energy in Germany comes from
Russia.
As you know,
Russia, yep.
From Russian, gas. But the Germans, let me tell you, the Germans are extremely intelligent.
Yes.
And the middle class is extremely strong. So
I agree.
They will find a way.
Yes, I 100% agree. But that's all I was coming at it from, was there seems to be a lot of issues in the European Union as well, in a lot of European countries, and a lot of Americans, myself included, thinks the EU is going to disintegrate ultimately. Just like I think that the United States will probably balkanize too.
To be honest, I hope none of it does, because I have many friends in the United States and I love that country. Your country, and it's a beautiful country, a lot of history. Not as much as
in Europe. Yes, fair. You're right.
Yes, of course. But I'm not even like dissing or flexing or something. It's just like, it's a younger country, but you have so much strength.
Right.
And you should use it. But people are so divided right now. I don't even. And let me just say to you something. I have a really good friend from Montana, for example.
Nice.
And she doesn't even understand what is happening in their own country. So it's not me just being European and not knowing stuff, It's like, even American people from Montana, I know people from Montana, I know people from Louisiana, I know people from New York and LA. So I get a little bit of everything. Of course, I don't know everything, not even close, but like literally being European, I just wish the best for you, because it's a beautiful country with amazing people. I just hope you find the middle ground.
Yeah, that won't happen. I mean, I'll tell you what's going on. It's very simple. Well, I know that you said that you're an atheist, but it's very simple to tell you what's going on in the world. And then I'll try to say it as concisely as possible.
Religious something, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, it's really simple. It's a spiritual warfare, what's taking place. Because what happens, every civilization throughout history, to my knowledge, and I am a student of history, has had a religion that has built it up pretty much. So a group of people decide that they believe in this one God or whatever they believe in, that's a religious belief. They then build their civilization around that. This is pretty much every civilization in history. And so on the rise of civilizations, when the civilization is its most bullish, so you look at a stock chart, you look at a crypto chart, you see when it's rising, it's in a bull market, right? When civilizations are in a bull market, if you will, are when it's its most religious, it has strong morality, and it has intense repression. That's when it's going. And then when it goes down is when it loses those three things.
Okay, so you believe then, and by the way, I'm just here with you. I don't know if it's just like a one-on-one talk, but I would love to talk with other people. Like if someone just get on another window or something, because I would love to know as many perspectives that I can, because I'm literally trying to learn. That's my thing. I'm European. I don't know, of course, your reality as you know. I watch a lot of American television just to try to teach myself, like Bill Maher, CNBC, and Fox. I watch all of it. I'm curious. I want knowledge. That's it. And I don't I was religious before. I'm no longer. So I respect it, of course. But I don't think morality needs religion, to be honest.
Then where do you get it from? Then it's just subjective.
It is subjective, yes. It depends on the market in a way. It depends on people. Like everyone knows you should not kill, right? We all know that. Even back in the day, and trust me, I know history. So even back in the day, you didn't need a god. And by the way, I'm just going to say something. I hope I don't offend anyone. But like the Christian God, which was my God for at least 10 years, is just a copy of many other gods, even pagan gods. Because I studied religion for a while, and then when you study that, you just I lost my religion. Okay, maybe you wouldn't do that. I understand that. I respect that.
No, I've been down a similar path myself, and I will tell you, a lot of that is a myth. There's a lot that's myth in regards to Christianity taking from other religions, and it's provably a myth. It provably is, but we don't have to go down that rabbit hole. I mean, we were talking
no, of course,
but anyway, Mick, what's going on, man?
Yeah. The guy with the hood that looks like a wizard. I love it.
He's my part. He's
huge beard. I love it.
He's my partner in crime.
Master, man.
He's the co-host for MOT Media. What's going on, man?
What's up, y'all? My name's Mick. I heard you wanted another perspective, so.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Me and
always
Luis differ on some things a little bit. Actually, the longer and the more I get to know Luis, the more we actually agree on some things. I also think that the U.S. I don't think it's like a for sure thing that we're gonna balkanize. And I agree with you, man. I hope to God that we don't. I want to.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm not even American, but I wish we just find a common ground. To be honest, just as a human being, you know what I mean? Just as a human being.
I think it's 50-50. It's like a roll of the dice, nobody really knows what's going to happen, obviously. And
so you feel like that?
There's a lot of. Yeah, I think that it's possible. I don't think it's a for sure thing, but I don't want it to happen, man. I love my country. This is where I'm from. I've always been somewhat proud, but I think me and Luis would both agree on the same thing. It was around the time of September of 2001, whenever we both kind of started looking at things a little bit differently. And I've always loved my country, been proud. And lately I've been more, I'm not going to say proud of being American, but I'm kind of trying to embrace it a little bit more because there's so much division. I feel like it's my responsibility to somewhat keep the calm.
I do understand. I'm just going to
But ever
reply
since the
really
events-
shortly, like 10-second answer to Death and Sharudin. I bet this dude doesn't have children or women. Are you talking about me?
Because Mick and I,
If
we
it
both
is,
have.
Someone said, "I bet this
I-
dude doesn't have children or."
Yeah, I don't have kids, no, but I have someone that I love, and I'm still with her
Nice.
for 20 years. So
Awesome.
someone that I met when I was 18. And,
You don't have to have
and,
children or a woman to have an opinion, in my opinion.
Yeah. No.
But,
I'm just saying that I do have someone that I care a lot.
That's good. And
And if he's talking about me, I have a wife and children.
and I have a wife and children as well.
Yeah, but as far as
My next goal.
2001 thing, tea etiquette. I'd like your opinion on this. September 2001, that was a huge thing.
We
for the
gotta
whole
be
world, and I
wi-
think a lot of Americans.
Time out, really quick. Let's just call it that day in September. Let's not even say the
Okay,
year,
that day in September.
because it may trigger the bots. So nobody say for what it is, and
I
if
think
and if
that's
or call it
So you mean
7-Eleven.
That day where the twin.
Yes,
stuff-
yes.
that's
Yes.
it, yeah.
Let's call it
Oh,
7-Eleven.
okay.
We can even call it 7-Eleven.
Oh, okay. I had no idea the bots were
TikTok,
looking at it.
They're watching us
Okay.
right now. They commented earlier.
Yeah, and we
Well,
get
It
we
was
get
a
one.
really
So
me being European. I can tell you. Literally, I remember every second of that day because for me it was extremely sad. Extremely sad.
Yeah.
And trust me, all my colleagues, I was only like, 17, 18? Maybe not even that. No. I was 16, 17. And I was looking at the images. And even our classes at the school stopped just to look at the images directly.
that's how it
and,
was here too. Yeah.
and a lot of people literally, and sometimes people think we Europeans don't care, but trust me, some of my colleagues were crying and we fucking hated it. Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust
Well,
me.
so it wasn't that particular day that I'm referring to. It was more what happened after that and all of the conflicts and things and all the lies. And I think it led the whole nation down this rabbit hole of like distrust. And that's really what I think has fueled the nation into this division. Then that's where all the conspiracy theorists and conspiracy theorists rose from. And the government hates that and they play on that. So I think that it really was the events that unfolded after that really had created this snowball effect of division. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, for sure. 100%. That was a huge awakening moment for a lot of people.
I actually don't agree with that in a way, but I know why you're saying that.
Yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts? I think you're from Germany. What did you guys think that it was okay for the U.S. to go into Iraq
In Germany? No.
what they did?
I'm Portuguese.
Oh, okay. My bad. I thought
We are allies for a long time. You even use some of our islands just to land your planes. So we have a long relationship with the U.S. Actually, some of your Marines actually even train with our Marines because we have it really hardcore. In Portugal, is it really hardcore? I'm not saying.
So what are your thoughts though? Like, do you think that the U.S. is justified in all these things? Like, because a lot of Americans, and it's crazy. Like, because I'm patriotic, but I think that it wasn't right. Most people that you would say are patriotic are like all about it.
To be honest, I think there was not enough clues to invade the country, but I do understand that when you're literally assaulted like that, you need to have a response. I understand that. That's what I understand. So I do understand that.
All right, so I got to interject here because I
But
just
the
got.
response was not correct. Let's just say that.
All right, so
Not enough evidence,
let's.
and we all know.
So we can't talk on this much longer. I just got another warning from TikTok. So
Again, okay, let's talk about the flowers. So,
right.
Dude, I have a lot of flowers. I got like 30-something species of flowers in my front yard, man. I got this memory garden. It's beautiful. I love flowers.
I only have 10, so you won already. Again, Americans winning.
So we got Toxic and Masculine saying all economic systems are energy systems. 100% agree with that. All energy systems obey the same law. The same laws that apply to electoral systems apply to economic systems. If you start thinking deeper about it, it's kind of scary. Yeah, so this goes back to why I say religion is super important when it comes to basically everything. So this is why when you have a fall of society,
Okay,
When
that's
you-
where I disagree. Okay.
that's fine. When you have a fall of society, it's because of three things that lead to everything else. Lack of religion, lack of moral compass, and what was the third one that I always kept saying and I forgot? I've been talking about this all day. I was on live earlier. Wow, I can't remember the third one, but you can just stick with the fact that a lack of a moral code in society. Oh, liberation. That's right. Liberation. Now I lost the other 2 points: religion and moral compass. Once you start losing those three things, your society begins to collapse. And then you see what happened in Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, their economy collapsed, their government collapsed. But long before their government and economy collapsed, they were already morally corrupt because one of their main sources of income came from a particular type of tourism that was very predatory towards the youth. I can't go much further into this.
It's always predatory, but I don't think you actually need that. Like, okay, I'm just going to give my 2 cents, and I think that's the correct expression. Sorry if I'm saying something wrong.
It's all good.
English is not my main language, but anyway.
No, that's right.
I actually don't think you need a God to understand. Like, I'm not dissing on people that know God or want God in their lives. Like, to each their own, of course. I believe in everyone to be free, but you don't need that. Like, for example, I'm an atheist, right? And sometimes people say, "Oh, atheist. Oh, like Hitler and Stalin was an atheist, and they killed like millions and millions and millions of people." But during the Crusades, we also killed a lot of people just for the sake that they were in the wrong religion. So I don't get it. But what I know is that me being an atheist, I don't care if you are a Christian. I don't care if you are Jewish. I don't care if you're a Muslim. For me, it's like you're all human, and I love you all. That's it. Like, I don't really care. I really don't. And I've met people from I've met people from Afghanistan, for example, and many Americans probably would be against people from Afghanistan, but they are such a compassionate people, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know a lot
beautiful.
of. Yeah.
Like if we forget religion and just become human at the basic level, like the basic, you know what I mean, basic needs. So eat, drink, even sex, of course, is one of the basic needs. Shelter. We are all the same. We are all the same. And I wish we just could love each other, because I'm not an American. Of course, I'm not going to pretend that I am. I don't even have the accent. I don't even know how the hell I sound to you. Sometimes I say words in British. Sometimes I say words in American. Like, my mind is confused because I was raised by both, to be honest. American television and British television. But I love you all. Like,
so I will say this.
Chinese and also the Afghani people. And
yeah.
Like,
so I will say this. We are
why
different.
Can't we just chill together?
Yeah, so we definitely are all different.
Grab a beer and just chill.
So yeah, I'm totally cool with that. But we definitely are all different. However, we all share a divine spark that is from God. So that's the thing that unifies every single person on this planet is the divine spark.
I don't think
the
we need a
spirit.
God. That's the only thing that I disagree with you. I think you're such a sound, perfectly amazing human being, but when I say God, and I'm not dissing on you,
I
it's
don't,
your
yeah.
belief. And I was like you, by the way, like I told you. But nowadays, I no, because I studied the Bible. I actually never read the Quran. But when I was curious about theology, for example, no. You don't need that. You don't need a God to tell you that it's not okay to kill. It's not okay to actually rape someone. It's not okay to. No. You don't need that. You just know as a person.
And why do you know?
Maybe I'm wrong. To be honest, I'm still learning and all that.
Yeah. But why do you know that?
You don't need that.
Why do you know that? Why do you feel that way? Why is it
It's
just
called
wrong?
Life experience. So you meet people, you talk with people, you know that people before you came with great difficulties. For example, I'm half European, half African. So when people talk about racism and being black in American, racism called the N-word, and for me, and I'm not going to say here because I already got, not banned, but people don't like when I say that. I'm not going to say the N-word in the worst way, but see, I even need to apologize for something that I always said all my life. Because my mother is African.
I would
my
say
grandmother, my grandfather, my brother, my father, everyone is in my life is African. So for me, saying the word, for example, I'm just going to say it.
No, because TikTok is weak.
It's not the word ending on.
It's no. Just I know. Just stick to the N word.
Okay. Yeah.
Just stick to the N word.
So still on TikTok. That's.
And I want to preface with this really quick. And I want to say this really quick, just so everybody knows. Hang on, really quick, just so everybody knows. I am not against saying the word. I say the word all the time in my real life. If you know me in real life, I say the word. I don't care. But when it comes to TikTok, we got to be careful. So let's just refrain from all that language. If we were having a beer, we could say it all day long.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, for example, when I say, I have me and then grow, so I'm not saying the word, blood, I do. That's the thing. I do have. It's my heritage. Actually, just 3 generations before me, my great-grandmother was in a tribe in Africa. So I'm not even joking about it.
Yeah, I believe you. I have nothing against people saying the word.
I know the food. I know everything. So when I cannot even say the word knee, and then, okay, I'm not saying eager,
we get it. Just what's your point? We get it.
Grow.
We
Yeah.
get it.
We get it. What's your point?
It's so fucking. I'm sorry, but it's so crazy to me because in Portugal we say this all the time. Because even when I talk with my family, I say proudly that I have.
We get it. What's your point?
Your profile picture doesn't.
I know, but
look like that.
I know.
Who cares? It's just a word.
Caucasian.
It's just a word.
But I'm not Caucasian. That's my point. But all my life, it's like people when they approach me, they're really careful. Like for example, when they saying like for example jokes, black jokes or something like that. When I enter the room, oh, trust me, they stop talking about that. For example. And it makes me really uncomfortable because I would prefer them to still continue talking about them but they
Yes,
don't
we
because
get
they
it. We
know.
get it. We get it. And I
I'm
want to just say
extremely
this
light,
one
yes,
more time.
but
I
still
am
not light
totally
enough,
in
let's just say that.
favor. I am totally in favor of making fun of everybody. I am totally in favor of saying the word that
Like
shall
me,
not be
yes,
said.
Exactly, yes,
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 I am
yes,
totally.
Like Bill Maher, like,
I am Puerto Rican,
Ricky
but I
Gervais,
look like I look like a Caucasian, but I'm Puerto Rican, and I say that
no, you
word.
Don't, no,
that's
you don't look Caucasian. By the way.
I say that word.
no.
I say the word
Yes,
all the time.
Yes, the wizard does. Yes.
I say the word all the time. I love the word. I
But
think more
actually,
people
I'm
should say the
actually kinda
word.
tan on my arms.
So anyway,
But
let's.
that's the point. Like, for example,
What's the point?
you you're from Puerto Rico. You have some origins from Puerto Rico, right?
Yes.
So, do you understand what it's like to be like mislabeled, right? Of course you do. You should. I'm mislabeled all the time.
Yeah, I mean, people call me Mexican.
It's all right, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they call me Hispanic, they call me black, they call me white, they call me Hispanic, they call me like whatever. I understand it. Yeah. Yeah,
You're just a mind here, man.
But that's
You're
okay.
Here, minds of tomorrow.
That's the thing. Like, this dude, our O's, I don't even know your name. Mod News? Oh, okay, I have no idea.
My name is Luis. My name is Luis.
Minds of tomorrow.
Luis?
Yes.
Okay, pretty partisan, Luis. But okay, I'm going to say it with the next Luis.
It's all good.
And yes, I do understand you, brother. I truly understand you. That's my whole life. I'm too white for some people, and I'm too black for some. And trust me, when I was a kid, that literally, it damaged me. To be honest, it was really bad when I was growing up, because for a short while I had no idea where I belong.
I get it.
Hey, you want to hear something? My actual name is I'm Italian, and I actually get pretty tan. Like my boys are real tan.
Parla italiano.
So my name is Michele.
Okay. Michele, tu parla italiano.
So it's
poco. Just. No, you don't.
Spelled like
okay.
Michelle does. I don't speak Italian. No, I don't.
Okay.
My father actually lives in Italy, and
okay.
but my whole life growing up, people would call me Michelle, which is like a woman's name here in America.
Yeah.
So, you got your whole life, people were confused at what your race was, but my whole life, people were like looking, whenever they're like Michelle, and they're looking for a girl. You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's so
it's
bad.
Just the way life is,
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that. I wish you'd never gone through it, to be honest. Like, I wish all the love that I can give to all of you, to be honest. And because no one should go through that as a young person, because it's too damaging. It's too damaging. I was literally called the N-word.
I don't look at it that way.
I was literally called the N-word.
I don't look at it that way, though.
When I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I'm not even saying the good word. The N that ends in E-grow.
Yeah, we get it.
But the other one.
Yeah, we get it.
And I was like, are you kidding me? I look like you. I was literally like even confused. I look like you. But yeah, still I'm still not white enough for some white people. And yeah.
You're never going to be enough for some people.
It's disappointing. Yes, it is.
Well, I'm going to get off here, guys. I just, I know you said you wanted another perspective of what's going on here in the U.S., so.
Oh, yes. And please host the next D&D live or something, because I want to play with you. D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, because you look.
We're playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, you look
Does that
perfect
like
for
a
that.
wizard?
Yes, exactly. You look perfect. You look perfect.
I've never played it, but that probably would be cool to play. Like a live stream thing, I guess maybe.
Oh yes. Oh, trust me. There's
All
a
right,
lot of
so-
nerds here on TikTok.
All right, guys, we
So,
got
yes.
one more person that wants to hop
you
in.
look
So
like a wizard too, Louise. But Louise, you look like more of like an academic wizard. Anyway, y'all have a good night.
okay. All right, peace.
Academic
Peace.
wizard. Oh, that's a good flex. Yes, he does.
All right. Well, T etiquette. I'm gonna get you out of here, man. We got one more person that wants to hop in, and then after that, we are going to end the stream. We're gonna let this person in for a little bit. The only reason I let somebody else on
Okay,
here
yeah,
is because
that's okay. Yeah.
MOT Today, that's our other TikTok channel, and he's our co-host. So I typically only allow one person on. So it just keeps things easier. But thank you for coming on. I really do appreciate it, man.
Yeah, me too, man. Yeah, just a bit good.
Right.
Hey, how are you doing today, my brother?
I'm doing all right. Are you? All right. All right. I think I know you.
Have we spoken before?
So your voice sounds very familiar. So
I
keep it
don't
chill.
remember speaking to you, but it could have happened before. I don't remember what we spoke about then.
We were talking about the economy. We were talking about Russia. We were talking about Ukraine.
Right. I honestly, don't remember that conversation. It's possible, but I see that on number 2 you say be a man and start a family. What do you mean by that?
What do you mean? What do I mean? I mean it's yeah, I know. I think it is. I think you're right, Mick. I think it is, but we'll give him another chance. I mean, what do you mean? It's right there. Be a man, start a family. So be a man, get a woman, have children. He didn't think that we knew. Oh, you're talking about Ukraine? I had no idea. No, we weren't. We weren't talking about Ukraine. We weren't. The guy who came into the live stream just now, hey, I got blocked. This is my other account. That wasn't me. I don't know who you're talking about. Was there? I honestly don't remember that. I mean, yeah, if you're going to behave yourself, I suppose. Let's see. This may be entertaining. All right. We'll give him one more chance.
Hey, honestly, I don't remember doing that, and I don't think you blocked me. I think I might have been one of the moderators.
Yeah, so we'll give you one more. We'll give you one chance. Guys, mods, we'll give him one chance. But yeah.
Yeah, what I wanted to ask is, what do you mean by number 2?
Yeah, so be a man and have children with a woman you love.
So what are you trying to debate on that? Like maybe I'm confused, but you're saying that just to have a family?
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
What about overpopulation?
It's not real. It's a myth.
Really? That's what you believe?
It's factually true, especially in the United States, in Japan, in Europe, in China.
Well, no offense. You might not be uneducated. I think you're probably educated with potentially not true topics, but it's been factually proven actually that overpopulation is a huge problem.
For what country?
The entire world. And I see somebody in the comments saying I'm getting mad. I'm not getting mad. This is just my tone of voice. I'm very calm, relaxed. I'm right now drinking a bottle, good time.
Okay.
But there is an overpopulation problem worldwide.
Yeah, I don't agree.
Well, what would you say to studies done by top regulator Mr. Pini Cohen in coordination with a lot of top subsidiaries such as Mr. Leroy Malul, Ron Sneezy, Simon Schneen, just to kind of show that overpopulation is getting worse and worse by year?
So what would you say to the fact that the numbers show that the American population has been in decline for years?
Well, the American population is not the only population.
Yeah, I'm an American, so
No, me too. But I'm talking on like a global issue. Realistically, the population continues to grow, and I'm sure as it's been checked by scientists, some of the top ones, such as Sean Ron. It's been shown that the human body temperature is close to 100 a lot of the time, meaning that if there were to be 25 billion humans on Earth at any point altogether, the Earth would probably get too hot and kill everybody.
yeah, it sounds like a bunch of nonsense to me.
Are you calling the study from Mr. Ron fake?
I don't trust people that are depopulationist.
No, he is not. He does not care. He's just a scientist.
That some countries are experiencing. Yeah, I don't believe that. The people that are telling you these things have alternative motives.
Okay, but realistically, we cannot just discredit science and statistics by crazy conspiracies. I'm citing.
I did.
One of the top.
I just did.
Yeah, but that you can do it, but it would kind of be not right.
It is right. The United States, 1.7 births per woman. In order to sustain a culture, you need to have 2.3, 2.4.
Okay, but I thought we just went over the
Okay.
fact that we were.
So hang
doing
on. Let's see here. What's Italy's birth rate?
No. why don't you look at the
1.27.
world one,
Oh
not
my
just
God,
Italy?
1.27. I'm going to go across the list from the country, UK, across the world. 1.65. So I've just found 3 countries that do not have
Okay.
sustainable levels of birth rates. 3.
Here's the problem: the worldwide birth rate per women is actually at
What
2.8,
country?
with places like China and India with huge populations, and due to immigrancy happening in those countries, while the birth rate might be low per women, with immigrants coming from countries where the birth rate is high, there will probably be a somewhat of an explosion on the Earth from the human body temperature.
Yeah, those are myths. There's no proof for that.
Oh, no, there is proof for that.
No, there isn't. When has it ever happened?
There has never been 25 billion humans at any point.
That we know of.
No, we know that there hasn't.
We don't know that. It's just what we think, what we believe.
Okay, but listen, brother, we cannot do crazy conspiracies like that there was 25 billion humans at some point in the world.
I'm not saying that
Realism-
we're. I'm saying that we don't know.
No, we do know.
We don't, but that's okay. It's all good.
There is no bones, there's no archaeology, there's no mineralogy, there is none of it to prove that. There's
Okay.
otherwise to prove that did not happen, going off of a lot of good sources like top regulator Mr. P.D. Cohen.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And if you he is not citing that he wants to do depopulation or overpopulation. He just does
I know.
studies with a large team, and he has found that within the next 20 years, if we keep going at this rate, 1 in 2 people will starve to death.
Yeah, I don't believe it. China birth rate 1.7. I'm looking this up in real time. All the countries. Japan. What else? Let's see. Japan 1.36. Okay,
but you
so
do
every
know that
country,
this does not-
every country that I'm looking at has a birth rate that's not sustainable.
Okay, so why is the population growing?
What are you talking about?
Are you saying that the worldwide population is decreasing?
We don't know what the worldwide population is. Factually, we don't.
No, we literally do know the worldwide population.
We don't. If you look into it, it is a guess.
Yeah, but it's an estimated guess, basically meaning that it's very close to that. We cannot just every time using a study, we cannot just discredit the study by saying, well, I'm crazy, I will discredit it. We have to be like, listen, we will trust the scientists, we will trust the people. Here, somebody in the comment, this is a good point I hear a lot. They said, there are so many unpopulated areas, the world is pretty unpopulated.
Why
The
is
problem
it? Why is it that every time I look up a country, name a country next time. Name a country. I'll let you pick. I just picked Australia. 1.6 birth rate. Once again, not sustainable. So give me a country. You pick a country. Let's see what their birth rate is, and let's see if it's sustainable.
Okay, well, what about the worldwide population growing? According to what you're saying, it should be decreasing.
Oh my God, India's crushing it. India has 2.2 births per woman. They get it. So who else?
Listen, I want to
Pakistan.
respond also quickly to the person in the comments who said they also said that
They get it.
around 8 billion is not that much, and they said that most of the world is not populated, meaning it's unpopulated. You know, there have been studies showing by also top regulator Mr. Pini Cohen that you could fit all of the humans into Texas, right? And the problem with that study is while you could do it, if you were to have 25 billion, you could probably fit them within a small landmass, but it would create a huge fire explosion from the human body temperature being higher at an average rate than the temperature the Earth can handle with too many.
Oh my God. This sounds like a science fiction novel. Pakistan's crushing it. 3.45. We need to take after Pakistan. 3.5 children per woman. That's awesome.
Listen, we can joke a lot, but the population in the world is growing, and you know there are countries like Pakistan, like India, like Shorn, with the growing population.
They're crushing it. We need to do that.
Okay, but that means so you agree that the world's population is growing.
In some countries, yeah.
Okay, but in total,
I don't know.
we do know. We have studies on it.
We don't know. I don't trust liars.
Are you calling every scientist in the world a liar?
I'm not.
Are you calling Mr. Pini Cohen and Leroy Malul and Ron Sneezy liars?
I don't know who they are, but their names sound very suspicious.
Why?
They sound very suspicious. They sound like they're funded by people that are depopulationist.
But they are not. They are just scientists with the government funding them to do studies on a lot of different topics. They do abortion studies, they do studies on gas, and they do studies on overpopulation.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not biased. They're not being funded by depopulationists. You know,
Who's
nobody
funding
would
Who's funding their studies?
They're a subsidiary of the government as the top regulator. He has his,
Okay. What government?
the United Nations.
Okay, yeah, exactly. That's right. The United Nations gives out awards for literally population control. Fact.
Okay, but they are not like having to follow the United Nations. There has been countless times where they have gone against what the United Nations usually supports. They are funded by the United Nations as he is the top regulator.
Okay.
Not to.
The United States needs to have more children. People in America have more children. Our birth rate is not sustainable. This is why we now have.
That's not true.
This is why we now have robots taking care of elderly people in New York. This is why in Japan you
No,
now
we
have
have that because
robots.
it is more sustainable in terms of the economy. And the problem is that with too many people, there will be less food, there will be less water, there will be less land, and there will be a huge explosion.
This is insane. Okay.
Here's the question. What would you rather have? A nice piece of bread you got from the store with a nice wine, or your house on fire from the human body temperature around the world?
I'd rather have a
It's
steak.
funny because
I'd rather have a steak.
exactly, you would rather have a steak than die, right? And your family also die.
Yeah, but we're not going to. So it's all, I mean, eventually, but not anytime soon, and not from spontaneous human combustion.
It's not spontaneous because we know how it's happening, right? Spontaneous is, we don't know what happened. We will study it, but we actually do know what happened. The dinosaurs actually went extinct scientifically because they had a much higher body mass, which meant that they basically accounted for maybe 100 humans, and when there were too many dinosaurs, it actually heated the planet to killing all of them.
I think the dinosaurs were largely a myth.
Okay, you deny dinosaurs now too, brother.
Yeah, I don't know that they were real. I'm being serious.
Okay, what about the bone?
Well, they were only found in the 1800s, and they were never found any other time in history. And they apparently have so much radiation that they have to use fake bones in museums. Fact. So yeah, I don't know.
That's not a fact. But
It is. It's okay. It
Can you
is.
hear me?
Yeah.
What is the fact that they have to use fake bones in museums?
Yeah.
That's actually not true. I'm sure you know one of the top museums in the world, actually, in Mr. Zimbabwe country. You know, they have a lot of real dinosaur bones there that are not fake. And, you know, all of the countries in the world, you're saying, are all together on this fake dinosaur thing?
I don't know how it works, but they're not what they tell us they are.
You're right. You don't know how it works because it's delusional. Are you saying that countries that are at war with each other have simultaneously agreed to never?
Yeah, they have with
lies
Antarctica.
about dinosaurs?
Yeah, so they have with Antarctica. They have a treaty with Antarctica. So yeah, countries do come together for some pretty interesting things.
Okay, well, they do come together for some pretty interesting things, but not all of them at once. And
Antarctica.
what you have to understand is that,
The Antarctica Treaty.
okay, I would love for you to tell me about it.
Well, all the most powerful nations in the world that are constantly at war with one another have a treaty to where you can't
Okay,
privately
no,
travel.
the most powerful ones, but not all of them. Like, I'm sure that a lot of countries were not included in this who do believe in dinosaurs. Listen, we cannot just explain. No, not explain. We cannot just deny dinosaurs. We have to accept. Listen, this is the base understanding.
I just did. I just did.
This is listen. No. I will tell you. You ask a normal person who has done some research, going off of scientists and not crazy conspiracy. Number one,
Yeah.
the dinosaurs are real. Number
Maybe.
two, the dinosaurs went extinct. Number three, they went extinct due to overpopulation crisis, making them combust due to a rapid fire human disaster. Not human disaster, dinosaur disaster.
Oh my God. I mean, dragons probably existed. I believe that. Dragons were probably real. Giants were real.
Okay, listen, brother, I think maybe you're joking with me.
I'm not. I promise you I'm being serious.
Okay, but the dragon existed, but the dinosaur did not.
I don't know. Not the way to describe it.
Look, I would like you to read this comment by Satan Stebas. They said saying they didn't exist is just blatantly ignoring science because it doesn't match with your feelings. He put it very well. You know,
it doesn't match with the evidence.
Wait. You're denying blatantly that dinosaurs existed and went extinct according to top regulator Mr. P.D. Cohen due to the temperature in the body.
Oh my God. Guys, let me just say this. We don't know.
The person in the comment mislove the vibe. You know, they've been calling me out this whole time saying that I was going to, a little earlier, they said I was going to start yelling. I'm not yelling, very calm. If you want to come up here and, you know, speak with me, I would be happy to do it. But, you know, enough insult. Let's be grown-ups and not dinosaurs. Yeah,
because they weren't real. Let's be real humans.
You're right. Dinosaurs were not humans. That is the difference. They were not Homo sapien. They were dinosaur sapien.
Exactly. And who knows if dinosaurs were actually real? Were there animals? Let me just say this. Were there animals that existed? Hang on. Let me say this. So can we say that animals lived a long time ago? For sure. We definitely can. Can we say?
But here's the thing. What you're telling me right now is a bunch of nonsense because you're telling me, can we say this? Can we say that? The problem is that
it's not a fact.
We don't really care what you say because it's been scientifically proven by top regulator P.D. Cohen that they did exist. You cannot just deny it because it's your feelings, you know?
It's not my feelings. There's actually a bunch of evidence to prove to the contrary if you're interested in looking into it.
If you can give me evidence that is more unbiased and factual than top regulator P.D. Cohen in coordination with Ron Sneezy, Leroy Malul, Simon Schneen, and Rob, then I would love for you to do it.
I mean, yeah, just look into it. I mean, type in dinosaurs are fake and then just go down the rabbit hole. Explore.
Right, but I've went down that rabbit hole and it usually leads to a lot of crazy people.
That you think are crazy, and I think the people that you're claiming are reliable are crazy too.
No, but they are not because, you know, they have studied themselves also. You know, I will give you a good study here. This has been studied by top regulator Pini Cohen, this time in coordination with mainly Simon Schneen and Leroy Malul, to kind of determine that, you know, people who don't believe in dinosaurs statistically have a very much lower IQ than those who, you know, don't act crazy about it. The average
Yeah.
IQ of the dinosaur believer is 89, and not 89, 92, and the average IQ of the non-dinosaur believer is over there at 68.
Oh my God! So I'm retarded.
You're not retarded, but, you know, you could be an outlier, but you are obviously with some sort of problem making you not believe in the dinosaur.
I think you have some sort of problem.
Are you saying that my problem is being too educated on the topic?
No, it sounds like you're indoctrinated.
I am indoctrinated by who? An unbiased scientist?
You claim they're unbiased.
No, but they are legally not allowed to be biased. That is the role of the top regulator and the top subsidiary. You legally have to sign
You
papers
definitely-
saying that you will not be biased.
You're definitely brainwashed.
Okay. You are denying dinosaurs, and I am citing the top
No. I don't
Somebody
think
in
I.
comments.
No.
Somebody in the
So
comments,
let me.
They said the danger of overpopulation is just a theory, just like they predicted billions of COVID deaths. And the problem with that is there actually were billions of COVID deaths, number one. And number two, it is all real. Overpopulation and the billions of COVID deaths.
So toxic and masculine is 100% right, which is my whole point here. And this just shows you, like, I'm obviously I'm not low IQ because I'm playing with you right now. All right. Toxic and masculine. Toxic. Hang on. Toxic and masculine is 100% right when he says these are just theories. Okay, which is why. Hang on. Time out. You're gonna get out of here. Time out. So, which is why I've been saying we don't know. These are beliefs because they're theories. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know.
Can I explain something real quick?
I mean, you can try to.
Okay, so when you say theories, scientific theories are not actually.
Oh my
theories.
God, we get another one of these. I get these all the time. People are like, scientific theories are different than regular theories. Do you know why? Because science is in the front of theory. But do you know what a theory is? Yeah, well, a theory is a collection of evidence that suggests something is true. And a theory evolves from an hypothesis, and a hypothesis is.
No, I will call a timeout.
Oh my God, dude! Everybody knows what a theory is. Like a theory.
But, you know, there is different definitions for a theory and a scientific theory. It's literally a different definition. A theory is what you just claimed, and I'm sure that you know a scientific theory is actually defined as 100% correct, or you will pay the price.
Wrong. A scientific theory. I'll read it for you right now. So just cool your horses. A scientific theory is an explanation of an aspect of the natural world and universe that has been repeatedly tested and corroborated in accordance with the scientific method using accepted protocols of observations, measurements, and elevation of results. Basically what I said, there's evidence to suggest something is true. And they've tested it. They have things to prove something is a theory.
To suggest something is true, then it's usually true. A theory is not the same as a scientific theory. I'm sure that you know, by definition, a scientific theory is it's defined in cultures, a lot of different words, a lot of different definitions, but usually it is defined as a 99.999 success rate, or you will pay the price usually.
So do you know there's this interesting thing in the field of science, and this is affecting most hard sciences right now. It's called the
dinosaurs are not a scientific theory, by the way. That's just like everybody knows it.
Anyway,
let me ask you a question.
Reproducibility crisis. Have you ever heard of it?
Explain it.
Well, it's something that's plaguing most of the scientific world, where 2/3 of all studies cannot be reproduced. Yet, they're still
That's
being.
not true. I know what you're talking about. That's completely false. what you're claiming that 2/3 cannot be reproduced was actually a myth that has been disproven, hundreds of thousands of millions of times, just to overreact a little bit, and it's actually 0.001% cannot be reproduced, not 67%. This is a myth that
It's
is
not.
well known to be a myth.
It's not a myth. You know how I know this? Because I've spoken with people who are actually in academia and know exactly about this problem. And they know it's a
then those people in
huge,
academia who say
huge
that
issue.
are falsely believing in a myth, right? I've spoken to people in academia who've also said it's a myth. But let's say I
Yeah.
spoke
And
to
I've
somebody in
spoken with
academia
people.
who
I've
said
spoken.
that you are biologically a dog who has the IQ of a Schnini. It will not mean that you are a dog with the IQ of a Schnini. It means that guy is in academia and he's crazy and believes you have the IQ of a Schnini. Now, that 0.0001% of the not reproduced is the real statistic, not the 2/3 study that is a well-known myth.
Do you believe in dragons?
I don't know. I haven't looked into it that much. Probably not. I don't really know that much. I'm talking to you specifically on dinosaurs right now.
Do we have too many dragons in the world? Do you think that the spontaneous combustion of dinosaurs could have been an attack by invading dragons from behind the Antarctic wall?
So here's the problem. I've basically proven you wrong, and you have now fallen back to making jokes as to make it seem like you were joking the whole time, right?
No, I'm not. Now I'm joking with you, and you haven't proven me wrong, and that's okay.
I have. You tried to cite me a myth a minute ago, and then you started joking after, because I was able to provide you with the information that what your number one study was actually a well-known myth that was debunked by top regulator Mr. Stone before top regulator Mr. P.D. Cohen. Mr. Stone actually debunked this whole crazy myth a lot of times, a lot of places,
Yeah, so obviously we're not going to agree on this. Like I said, I know people personally who know that the reproducibility crisis is a real thing. So that's okay. I don't need somebody to do a study for me. I believe people I interact with in real life more than I do studies. Do you want people? Do you people want me to get back online? Please. PD Cohen. I don't know what happened to Homeboy. Guys, I'm just saying there is an interesting theory about dinosaurs. That's all. Very interesting. And none of us know if they actually were real, if we're being honest with ourselves. But so many people are brainwashed and they don't
Hello,
understand.
Are you able to hear me, brother?
Now I am, but so many people are brainwashed that
sorry about that.
It's all good.
My mic went off, but what I wanted to say, not to interrupt you, but before you do the whole brainwash thing, I will stop it right there because it's nonsense, number one. And number two, what I wanted to say is that you believe people you meet in real life more than studies. The problem with that statement is if I were to come up to you with 100 million homeless people on drugs and pay them each $1 to say, hey, brother, you are biologically a dog. And then, the top regulator, P.D. Cohen, comes out with top subsidiary, Mr. Simon Schneen, Leroy Malul, Ron Sneezy, and Rob to say, hey, you are obviously not biologically a dog. We can prove it with DNA test. You cannot just say, hey, I don't believe the study. I believe the 100 million homeless people. You cannot just deny the truth in favor of crazy theories that are not looked at by top regulator Mr. P.D. Cohen. And I would like to invite Mr. T. Etiquette to come on, because if he's, so smart, please come up here and speak with me respectfully.
No. We're just keeping one guest on. Can
I talk with him and you at the same time?
Not right now.
We won't interrupt anybody. We will do a great conversation.
Yeah, that's usually the intention, and it doesn't work that way. We only allow one guest on now. So you're talking with me, and you're talking with somebody who is a truth seeker, and I question everything. So
Here's the problem. If I were to I will give you a, I did not come. I will not take credit for this. I forget the name. I will not take credit for this example of hypothetical. This was actually created by Ron Sneezy, top subsidiary, just to prove people wrong on debates like this. But for example, if I were to put an ant on your head and you could not see it, would you be able to see the ant on your head?
if I had a mirror,
You are laying down. You cannot see the ant on your head. There is an ant on your head. Can you see the ant?
if I had a mirror,
You are laying down.
yeah, it does. I can be laying down and holding a mirror at the same time.
Okay, but obviously you're not holding a mirror. You usually hold mirrors when you're laying down. You're laying down. You woke up. You are in sleep paralysis. There's an ant on your head. You cannot see it. Can you see the ant on your head?
Well, if I'm in sleep paralysis, then I won't be able to see anything.
No. Sleep paralysis. Your eyes are open. You cannot move.
Yeah, and I have sleep paralysis, and you don't actually see what's real. You're still dreaming.
Okay, but that's not sleep paralysis then.
It
That's just
is.
being crazy.
It is. I'm telling you, it is. I have it, 100%.
Okay, listen, even if I'm using the wrong word, I will give you the benefit of the doubt. It's not called sleep paralysis. It's called, for example, sleep banana babal, and your eyes are open. You're only seeing the real, but you cannot move. This is a real thing, and you have an ant on your head, but you cannot see the ant. Here's the
Okay.
question. Can you see the ant?
No. I mean, if I could move and I had a camera,
But there is an ant on your head. Can you see it?
I just said no. I could feel it though.
No, you can, but it is an ant. Ants physically do not have the capabilities to make you feel any sort of weight.
Dude, you sound insane. You've never had an ant
That's
crawl on
why
you?
we are using an ant and not a dog.
You've never had an ant crawl on you?
I don't. You cannot feel them. You might feel the hair on your leg itch or something, but that is not due to the ant. That's due to the repercussions of the leg hair actually feeling the ant. And then I'm sure you know that in the leg, when something like that happens, there is a stem cell that will go up and down, dancing around, making a noise.
So yeah, they engage your senses.
Somebody in the comments said, why does the ant matter so much? And, I've kind of proven it here by, kind of shutting down, no offense, Mott News's whole argument and theory with that ant argument, because it's kind of showing that he is not really able to answer the question. You have an ant on your head, you are sleeping, not moving, but your eyes are open. Can you see the ant? He said no, but the ant is still there. So can you see it? He said no, but the problem is the ant is moving on your head. Can you see it? And his answer was no, which is, listen, can we please just for a moment invite Mr. T. Etiquette to come on to talk with me?
No, you're talking with me.
I know, but do you think maybe it would be better we can do triple?
No, I've already said that like 3
What?
times.
Okay, I will not push you on it, but here's the thing. I have, would you agree with me that I've kind of shut down your whole theory with the ant?
I don't know what you're getting at.
You know why you do not get what I'm getting at? And this is what the
Because
ant
I have
theory
low
does.
IQ.
What I've done basically is I've shut down your head with this theory.
What are you talking
What
about?
this theory does in an argument, statistically, scientifically proven, is it will confuse the person into shutting down their head to the point where right now you can still speak with me, but your IQ for the momentarily has gone down to the level of a dog.
What are you talking
Shepherd dog.
about?
Basically, what I've done is I've lowered your brain IQ momentarily to that of a shepherd dog.
You sound insane.
See, but you're only saying that because you do not understand, because you have the IQ of a shepherd dog right now. This is scientifically proven with enough confusion, and this is a perfect question. You can lower the IQ from somebody. Yours, we went over the IQ of the non-dinosaur.
Yeah, I have a
statistically around 68.
I know I have a
So
68
right now,
IQ.
You're probably at around 3.
Yeah, I know. I probably have like a 30 IQ right now. It's crazy How am I even living?
No, probably after this question, we have taken you to a 3, but you still are able to do basic necessities like talking, eating, drinking. But what's going on in your brain might seem like it makes sense, but if we were to see it, we would know that it's not real.
I mean, literally, I don't understand what you're talking about. And I don't think anybody else in
Okay,
here
you
does
don't
either.
understand what I'm talking about because I've shut down your brain.
Dude, you're hilarious.
See, brother, you now think I'm joking and you got up, you're running away laughing because
gotta get a
you don't
charger.
even know where you are right now. You think you know what's going on, but I have psychologically turned you into a dog who has not eaten in a long time with a monitor for a face.
Oh my God.
That's the problem. Right now, I've essentially turned you into a dog. I've essentially turned you into a shepherd who walks on all fours, who runs on the grass.
Wow, man. You're like a hypnosis or something. You're like a hypnotist.
Right now, brother, your IQ is starting to come back to you. You might be at 7 or 8 right now. Soon you will be back to maybe your normal high IQ of 68, maybe even 69.
Dang.
70, possibly maybe 71 if it's a good day. And we will be back to discussing. But, in all reality, after that ant theory, it seems to have also confused Mr. Morto Day 1 in the comments, who is now barking.
Yeah, I know, dude. You're a genius. You must have like an IQ of like 170.
No, I'm not that smart. I'm maybe even a little below average, but I'm just educated on a lot of topics. Me and you might be close. You might be right now 8 or 9. I might be 92. And sooner than later, when you come back to life, your brain will not be shut down anymore.
That's good to know. And then maybe then I'll find out that the earth is flat.
Do you believe this?
I don't know what shape the earth is.
Here's the question for you on that one. If you're not joking, I think you are messing with me though, right?
No, I'm serious. I don't know what it is.
Are you denying that the people on the moon and on Mars have taken videos of it?
Yes.
You are denying that.
Yes.
But I just want you to know after that entry, while you think you are typing real words, it is not real. You are just pressing random letters, but to you it seems real.
Okay.
Okay, great. I just wanted to let you know. So later today, when you see that there was a lot of weird search, like blah, 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 on the search, it's because of the ant. But we will go away from it. Are you denying that there have been pictures taken from the moon and from the Mars on the Earth?
Yeah, NASA never says there's been pictures. They're images and renditions.
Okay, but the NASA is not the only people. You have SpaceX. You have SpaceX again.
Yes,
And another
Elon Musk
company
is a
also
liar.
called SpaceX.
Elon Musk is a liar.
Anthony?
And NASA means deception.
NASA means deception?
Yeah, it translates to deceive, actually.
Okay, so just because a random language has NASA translating to deception doesn't actually mean anything. That just means that you put 2 dots together and the dots actually lead to the other side. You are connecting, right now after shutting down your brain, you are basically doing connect the dots. But the problem is you are drawing extra dots to connect the dots to the ant on the brain. You know what I'm saying with you?
Okay.
Please, brother, can we please just for 1 minute let me speak with the etiquette?
No, I already told you. Stop asking.
Why not?
Because it never works.
But you have not tried it with me. I'm very calm,
I don't
very
care.
happy,
I already told you no. So stop asking.
Why not? Why not?
Because I said so.
But do you not understand that you have no reasoning for the say so? Maybe it's closer to your brain is shut down, so you are not capable of thinking to do it. You are stuck on the one-word answer.
Okay.
Well, the etiquette is calling me out, saying a lot of.
That's cool. So you guys start. So you guys start your own live chat, and you guys go have it out
No,
on each other.
but you are a good host. You are good. So let me speak with him, and you will be a good moderator.
No, I already told you no, like 4 times.
Okay, but why not?
I've already told you why. We've done this a billion times with many of guests who appear to be civil, and then it turns out to be a total chaotic show. So
Okay,
no.
I promise you that if it turns uncivil, you can.
No,
remove
I already
me
told you
immediately.
no. We're done. We're done. No.
But you can just remove me, brother.
I can remove you now if you keep asking.
But I have not done anything.
Yeah, you are. You're ignoring me now, so stop asking.
Okay, well, good. We will move past it. And to the etiquette in the comments, I've proven you wrong, and the host does not even want to listen to the craziness that you would probably say. This is not true, and you cannot cite anybody as I have cited.
Yeah. Okay.
Good. Me and Etiquette, I'm now 1-0 with that other guy.
So yeah, cool.
Yes, it's very good, but going back to the flat Earth,
Okay.
are you denying that there have been people on the moon?
Yes.
Are you denying that there have been people on Mars?
Yes.
And how can you deny Mars?
Because it's not real.
There is a lot of evidence.
Yeah, there's a lot of evidence suggesting otherwise too.
Okay, I have some? Give me a dinner with it. Let me speak. We will do dancing. We will do you have a shot, I have a shot. Okay? Do it.
Yeah, so all the images that NASA has provided are images only in renditions.
Okay, but I said let's not use NASA. Let's use something like SpaceX #1 or Donnie.
SpaceX said that Elon Musk said, you know that it's real because it looks fake when Tesla went out into space. Total nonsense. He told
what
you right
about
there.
Donnie?
What about what?
Donnie, the #1 space company in the world.
Yeah, they're a bunch of liars if they think they're going out into space.
Have you ever been on an airplane?
No, I haven't.
Okay, brother, don't be joking.
I'm not.
Have you ever been in a car?
Yeah.
Oh, have you ever been in a helicopter?
Nope.
Okay, where do you live?
In the United States.
But you have not been to Mexico, Saudi Arabia, Shimon, Sharmon, Groglog.
Dude, you must think I'm rich. No, I have not.
Okay, well, listen. Do you think that airplanes are fake also?
Earth planes use a stationary Earth. Fact.
Okay, I'm just asking if you think that people actually go on them.
They do. And airplane pilots use a stationary plane. They use a stationary model to fly.
That's not what I'm trying to talk with you
I
on.
know, and
My
I'm telling
point
you.
was
And
that
you asked me for evidence, and so one piece of evidence, you can look in their handbooks. There's been plenty of interviews with pilots as well. They all fly their plane as if the Earth is a stationary plane.
Okay, good for them. Anyways, what I was saying was now that we're.
Do you deny that? Do you deny that?
Listen, I think whatever you're saying right now is not part of this conversation. We can do it later, but not right now.
Well, I kind of determine where we're going with the show. So I'm telling you that airplane pilots treat the Earth as if it's stationary. That's very interesting.
Yeah, great. It is very interesting. And
the snipers, they don't account for a curvature either. If you actually talk to a sniper, they don't account for any curvature. That's very interesting too.
Right, and my question for you was that if people do go on airplanes, are you denying that there have been multiple airplanes using a lot of gravity ways to go to the moon and to the Mars?
I don't even know that gravity is real.
Are you denying that I actually personally have somebody in my family who works with Donnie, and they have been to the moon, and I've personally worked with people who have been on the special trips to Mars.
Yeah. Okay.
So is it all a lie?
I think so.
But so are you saying that people I personally know grew up with are lying to me for whatever reason?
No, I mean, there's tools like MK Ultra, there's psychedelics, there's virtual reality. There's things that can make them feel.
No. They were the captain of the airplane to the Mars.
Yeah, I'm telling you that they can believe it. They can genuinely believe it. That's all. Doesn't mean that it's real.
No, but they were on Mars. They have rocks from Mars. They have like evidence.
Yeah, well, we find out that there was a moon rock that was actually petrified wood. So,
Okay, good for that, but that has nothing to do with me telling you that I know somebody, my cousin actually, his name was Tiernon, and he went to Mars on an airplane.
yeah, it sounds like nonsense to me.
Okay, so are you denying that he did it?
Yeah, I already told you like 4 times.
So why would he be lying?
I don't think that he was lying. He could have been brainwashed. He could have been drugged. He could have been in virtual reality thinking it was real.
No. He has a camera the whole time, before, after, when he got home. He's been wearing a camera after coming back for 2 years just to monitor him, and he has not been on any drugs.
Okay, I don't believe it. We can move on.
Okay, so are we denying it?
I already told. How many times do you want me to say yes? I'm denying it.
But if I'm telling you I know it, are you still denying it?
Yes, I just did.
But even after your brain may be now at 20 IQ, are you still denying it?
Yes, I am again.
How can you deny? You are going to stand on this for a long time. You deny it?
Yes.
Okay, let's move on. You still deny it?
Yes.
Well, talking about the dinosaurs, do you think that you still deny this?
I don't know what they were. I don't know if they're telling us the truth at all.
Not denying the dinosaurs. Do you still deny the other thing?
What other thing?
The thing that you kept saying you deny?
Yes.
Why?
Because it sounds like nonsense.
Listen, Mr. Western Canadian in the comments saying it's ridiculous and saying get to the point. I would like to just tell you, maybe shut your mouth. You are not talking. I'm the one talking. You are listening to me as I am the one on the top. You are the one on the bottom.
Are you
So
gonna?
give me a moment.
Are you gonna say anything like significant?
Okay, I will do it. You still deny it?
Are we just gonna keep going back in circles?
Well, do you deny it?
You already know my answer.
I don't. Do you deny it?
Do you deny it?
No.
Cool. That's awesome.
Do you deny it?
I don't know. Maybe. What am I denying?
Are you denying it?
What am I denying?
Everything. You're
Am I denying everything? No, I'm not denying everything. You know, I know that I'm alive. I know that I'm in a house.
Be quiet in the back. Listen, right now there's people in my house making problems. I will have to leave for now.
You should tell them to go to Mars.
Yeah, actually, it's Mr. Zon, my cousin, actually. He's going crazy.
Oh, yeah, because he was tripping balls. He didn't actually go to Mars, dude. He had a really bad LSD
Can you
trip.
please bring Tea Etiquette on here? Can you please bring Tea Etiquette?
Dude, bye.
Listen, Western Canadian, go fuck yourself, man.
That dude, he's something else. He's something else. When was we on Mars? Never. You said we were on Mars. Yeah, I know. He's lying. He is. Let me teach a lesson, please. No lessons to be taught here. Not right now, anyway. We've been going for like 3 hours and 10 minutes now. It is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous story. Never, yes. Some point, yes. Maybe tomorrow. We do a live stream every day at 10. Yeah, so T etiquette. I actually, yeah, there are pilots. A lot of them pretty much all of them, to my knowledge, use a stationary Earth to fly. And their flight plans don't make any sense if the Earth was a globe. And why has nobody ever circled around Antarctica? It's never happened. It's very interesting. Yeah, maybe some other time. But all right. I think I'm going to get out of here because we've been going, like I said, for over 3 hours. So it's been real. It's been fun. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. MOT Media, everything. And I think the Earth is a globe just because we see other planets as a glove. They could just be lights. They could be celestial bodies up there. It doesn't mean that they're globes. And also from our perception, it looks like everything's rotating around us. It's very interesting. And it's also very interesting that you can get a high-powered camera with infrared and see 1,000 feet over the horizon. So that's very interesting. And also, the further that you go with the camera as the sun is setting, you see that the sun's just moving further away. It's not actually going down. It's really interesting. Same with the boats. But all right, maybe some other time, T etiquette, because I'm looking into this myself. There's a lot that I don't know. So, all right, guys, much love. Peace.